Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast.
Are you ready to go? GNCC racing! Fans running to the fences, side by side. Boards gets a better line.
Oh boy, we got wheel to wheel right here, string. Oh, and Stu Taylor right behind him.
Russell gonna try to dive bomb down to the inside. No! Can't get the line he wants. Duval is in control. We open back up. Here comes Neil once again. He's going for the pass. Oh, the bumping going on.
What is going on, everybody? Well, the Split Line Off-Road Podcast. As always, I'm your Rodney Cooper, and with me today, as always,
Hey guys, what is going on?
episode 082 coming at you. Man, we're excited about it. We have a action-packed show coming for you tonight. We have none other than GG, the Ripper, on at the top of the show. We have Cole Richardson on after that. We have Jordan Ashburn coming on after that. And then after that, we have Jay Shadron coming on. You talk about a star-studded lineup we have today. So we're excited about it. We're excited to get going tonight. But before we get into it, we have to thank our awesome sponsors. First and foremost, we got to thank Guts Racing. Andy, Greg, and the boys at Guts have been with us since what, day 3?
Something like that.
Day 3.
It feels like it.
I mean, pretty much day 1. They've been with us for a while, and they offer the top of the line. They offer the top of the line seat covers, seat foams, anything you guys need. Guts has got your back. Those guys, I mean, Brandon, they are sick, and you're seeing more of them at the GNCCs, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
Guts Racing, Guts seat covers.
And
get on one.
If you don't believe us, Jordan Ashburn kicked butt on it on Sunday.
He did. And not only did he kick butt on it Sunday, but it was a really muddy race Sunday.
Yeah.
So, I'm giving a little bit of credit to the Guts, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. You will be giving one of those away after the summer break. Well, no, we'll find a way to give one of those away during the summer break, for sure. Yeah. We'll give away a seat cover. Also, we got to thank Seal Savers. Mason Mill, the guys over at Seal Savers, they've been in business for 21 years, providing the ultimate fork seal protection. Protect your forks, protect your ATV coils, side-by-sides, mountain bikes, trucks, like again, ATVs, anything you guys need to protect, they got your back, and it is affordable products. And if it wasn't affordable enough, you can save 25% by using the code SPLITLINE with a capital S, SPLITLINE, to save 25%. Then we also got to thank Sunstar Chain and Sprockets. Doug Kirk, man, is the man.
He's the man.
We're going to be getting him on the show soon, and he might be playing a little part in something.
Oh boy.
We got something cooking. So make sure you get on a Sunstar Chain and Sprocket kit. We gave one away today to the winner of our fantasy from this weekend from Snowshoe. So if you guys aren't playing fantasy, make sure you reach out to us, find out how to do that. Weekly prizes. But back to the Sunstar Chain and Sprockets. Brandon, what are those things made of?
Case hardened steel, baby.
They are made of the best products. They look the best, and you get the best customer service. And you can save 30% by using the code SPLITLINE30 to save 30% off of anything that you need at Sunstar on their website. We also got to thank XC Gear, Mako 360, Hammerhead 360. If you guys aren't running them, you need to be.
You should be, yeah.
If you weren't running a Mako 360 at Snowshoe, I feel bad for you, son.
Yeah, your wrist probably hurting a little bit.
Absolutely. We will be giving away a Mako 360 shortly in this show.
That's right.
Before we get to our first guest, we're going to be giving it away. Right, Brandon?
That's right.
You're in charge of that.
I like to make the people wait.
I know you like to make them wait, but
you got to make them listen.
Sometimes we make them wait too long, we might forget.
That's fine.
So we're going to be giving away a Mako 360 to a random user of the Split Line Fantasy.
Didn't have to win, just had to play.
Just had to play. After we find out like who won, I want to find out where they ended up finishing this week.
Yeah.
To see,
could be a first-time player.
Could be a first-time player. Could be a long-time player. First-time, long-time.
First-time, long-time.
Absolutely. Also, you guys, if you aren't running the Mount State Hair Scramble series and you're in West Virginia, you guys are missing out.
That's right.
Richie Nolan and the crew over there, run a top-notch series. They provide technical terrain that makes you a better rider. They don't make winners, they build them.
They just build champions.
They build champions, as Brandon would like to say.
That's right.
So yeah, we're excited about it. Anytime that I like to go race, I like to go to Mountain States.
That's right. Well,
work on my technique.
I mean, who's
get me ready for snowshoe? Listen, you're creating something here, because I've been getting bombarded by people that want me to race. But listen, guys, it ain't that good. It don't look that good.
Keep it up. I don't care if it looks good. I just want you back out on the track.
It don't look good.
Can I get on the track?
Hey guys, want to give a huge shout out to the people that have joined us in the chat. Kelly, David, Isaiah, and Walker, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Isaiah wanted to remind us to free Howard's Hole. Howard's Hole was completely free for about, 3 hours to Saturday? It was nuts down there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I didn't go to Howard's Hole, but I almost got puked on from Howard's Hole. Walking by the buses to get on the bus, and some dude's hanging out because they were busing people up from Howard's. Next thing I know, I just see someone's head out the window just almost barfed right on me. I was
man.
Oh my God.
Man, Snowshoe was great, wasn't it? It was a wild time.
Crazy,
man, anybody that if you are listening to the show because you got a flea rag from us, shout that out in the comments section, because I want to know, or just message us, whatever. But I want to know if anybody's listening because of the flea rag. We handed out over 250 flea rags.
That's right.
This weekend for free. That's right. I saw a ton of videos from Howard's Hole. People whipping the flea rags around. People having them in their back pockets, wiping their faces off after they got sprayed with mud. It was awesome.
I mean, even guys that were racing even got them on their bike when they stopped in a butthole.
Yeah, dude, it was so cool. And we're going to be doing it again next year at Snowshoe. And we might need about twice, maybe 3 or 4 times as many as what we got, because once we started handing stuff out, people were wanting them, taking them. It was cool. So if you guys took part in that, then we appreciate it. And we want to give a special shout out to Walker Fowler for taking the flea rag up on the podium and whipping it around. We appreciate you, Walker, and know you're listening. And man, the support that we get from Walker is really cool. So
far, support from all the riders have been really awesome, but
absolutely,
it's really cool for Walker to do that for us.
Before we get into our guests and everything, do you want to touch base on fantasy?
Fantasy? Do you want to touch base on it? Because
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got it. So for the not week 8. Why am I looking at week 8? I need to look at week 9.
You want to look at week 8. That's when you did good.
I did do good. I did do good in week 8. All right, week 9. AJ Oplinger took the win with 185 points. Riley Byler took second with 170. Jeffrey Browning took third with 159. Jaden Reiner took 4th with 158. Michael Aldridge took 5th with 142. And Doug Kirk took 6th. Yeah. I'm way down there. Brandon, you're at about 14th.
That's right.
Not looking too bad. But the guys are coming for you.
That's right.
in the overall. Brandon is right now in the lead for the series with 1,270 points. Zach Bothwell is in second with 1,177, and Rylan Fowler's in third with 1,172. You guys, we appreciate you guys playing. It's been a fun year. There's been some mistakes that we've made. You guys have helped us out by calling us out of the mistakes, and we fixed them. It's been a really cool year. Next year is going to be even better. We're going to have a website up doing it for us, so maybe we don't have to do it by hand. But it's been a lot of fun. So thank you guys again for playing that. Brandon, how was the racing at Snowshoe?
Dude, it was insane. You couldn't ask for one, you couldn't ask for a better atmosphere for a race. 2, the racing was just awesome.
Epic, wasn't it?
4x4 in the morning was fun. Yeah. The pro afternoon.
Hey, time out. Before the 4x4 race, before you got there, the kids race on the ATVs. Man, it came down to Tom and I, my brother-in-law Tom, we were watching it, and these 3 kids were battling it out, and then third place kind of dropped off a little bit, and then the top 2 were just cooking. And I think it ended up being a gap of 8 seconds at the end of the race. It was a good race. Yeah, for sure.
Good racing all around. Man, and then how about the start? We're sitting there. It's hot. Next thing you know, we look over the hill.
Oh,
and we saw. We're like, oh man, hurry up, let's get everything rolling. Let's get out of here. And it seemed like they just waited for that rain.
Just for the rain.
I swear they waited just for the rain.
I want to start a petition, and who's good at starting petitions is Isaiah. Isaiah, I'm going to make a sign that rivals the Howard's Hole. I want to free the water hoses in the first turn. Make that race happen again. That was amazing. It was all time, was it not?
Yeah.
Like everybody got soaking wet, but I am so pumped that it rained at the start of the ATV race. It was sweet.
It was crazy. I'm sure the guys that were getting ready on the line was probably like, "Oh, this sucks." But the fans, we were in the first turn. We were waiting for it. It was awesome.
Shout out to Hunter Hart for coming around and just smacking off the hay bales.
Yeah, you got to do it, man.
Yeah, I used to use that move in NASCAR '98 back in the day. Just bouncing off the wall. So what you know about that was probably before Hunter was born, though. NASCAR '98.
Some of those guys were having a heck of a time. Some of those guys did 360s pretty much, and we were watching the hay bales. It was pretty entertaining. It was very entertaining. The whole race was entertaining. It was a tight race. We're going to touch base on Jay Shad. We got to pretty much watch the race with his mom. Crowd song. Yeah, it was.
From a guy to give a shout out to the ATV Pros, the top three. Landon Wolf took the win. Cody Kohler leading most of the race ended up having a mistake that cost him the win. He took second, and Brandon Frazier took third. Those guys are consistently putting on insane battle, and that is a close points battle as well right now. I tell you what, there's a lot of pro classes that are really good when it comes to
the women's is pretty good.
The women's is good too. They're constantly
they keep trading shots.
Just like there's been a lot of winners. I think there's been 3 or 4 winners in the women's pro.
Right.
And just like you said, nobody's won a ton of races, just constantly trading blows. It's a good series to watch. If you guys aren't showing up to the track until after the AM, you guys are missing out, because that's a good series or that's a good race to watch as well. Hannah Hunter took the win. Tracy Pickens took second, and Caitlin Osborne took third. So shout out to those girls for putting on a heck of a show. And then over in the XC2 in the afternoons, of course, Jay Shadron took the win in XC2. Steve Harrell took second, and Wyatt Wilkins took third. Talked to Wyatt after the race, and he was not, he was like, I need to do better. Like, man, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
But still hungry. And then over in the XC1, let me see. Let me get over there.
Walker Fowler won.
Walker. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know why I'm looking.
Cool.
Well, I had to look because Walker Fowler won, Cole Richardson took second,
and Hunter
Hart took third. But in the overall, Jay Shadron took second, and Cole Richardson took third. So it was, good race, racing for sure. And those guys, they put on a heck of a show. I think there was 6-7 seconds between Walker and Jay Shad.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. It was I think 5 or 6. That's how close it was for him to just miss the overall. And we know Walker had to put the hammer down that last probably last couple of quarters to make up some time.
Yeah. Hey, Wyatt D6 said that he used his in Howard's Hole, the flea rag. I saw. If you guys look at all of the Howard's Hole videos, you can see the flags or the rags. You can see not a lot of people were waving them, but they were in the back pockets. I had a guy draping them over his head.
They were too busy helping the quads through, man.
Yeah. They were too busy. Yeah. And then Vincent Harrison, we do have AC. I don't know if you can hear it running in the background. I hope you can't, but it is a cool 72 degrees in here right now.
We were just trying to torture you the time you were in here. So
yeah, we needed you get ready for high point.
We secretly had it in the other room. We just didn't turn it on.
Dude, my head was cooking that night for sure.
It was brutal.
Oh man, that's Devin Masters put on a heck of a ride.
Yeah, he did. He took third in class, I think.
He third or fourth, but he ended up taking 24th overall, just out of the
top 20.
Just out of the top 20, man. I picked him on my fantasy team, and I'd still stand by that being a good pick coming up, because he's doing good right now. He's got that national bike working.
Right. So the golf game on Friday.
The golf game was awesome. Your boy, and a team.
And a team. The three other guys.
13 under. We were primed. Like we were feeling good out on the course. We were hitting good shots. Shot a 13 under. Thought we had a shot for the win, but ended up finishing 6th overall. The guys that ended up winning were just, I guess, on another level.
You just needed me. That's all. I mean,
21 under was the score to beat. That's kind of almost impossible to beat, I would say. But hey, perfect games happen sometimes, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So and then like we said, Friday night handed out a lot of flags.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a good time.
Yeah,
good time. We had a lot of fun.
Good atmosphere.
Good atmosphere. Talked to a lot of people. Oh, I need to mention. I promised her I would. We were selling shirts up there.
Right.
I was selling a couple shirts, and this girl walked up to me and she said, I need a large. So I was like, sweet. Looked in the bag, and I was like, oh, I don't have a large. And I was like, listen, so we didn't get our clothes until Saturday morning. That's another long story. But I said, just put this shirt on. It's brand new. I said, this is a large. I said, do you want this one? And she, without like missing a beat, was like, yes, give me that shirt. So I took the shirt off my back and gave it to her. And then I put an extra large on, and I was like swimming in it, going, throughout the rest of the night. But anybody that listens to this show, we appreciate you, appreciate your time. And
we'll give you the shirt right off our back.
Brandon, before we get Jonny on, let's give this Mako 360 away. I'm scared
already?
to death. Dude, we're going to.
Already?
Dude, are you going to remember later?
They're all going to quit watching.
No, they're not. Look at this lineup we got. I got the lineup.
Let me get this randomizer up here real quick.
We are going to be giving away a Mako 360 if you're just joining the show, from Lance over at XC Gear. He is gracious enough to sponsor the show for one, and then give us some sweet prizes. Like, you don't even have to be good at the fantasy game. All you have to do is play the game. And we're going to find out who won after Brandon gets the randomizer ready, and then we are going to find out where he finished this weekend, just to prove. Watch him ended up like the guy that won ended up getting it.
We'll have to redo the randomizer.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see. Are you ready? Are you ready?
We have like a. Is that the right one?
No, that's not the right one. That's okay. They don't want to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that. No, I'm joking. All right, here we go. You tell me when to stop.
Stop. Sorry, I forgot. I was reading comments and I got sidetracked.
All right, here we go.
Who won?
It is, sorry if I messed his name up, Jeff Stolzel.
Jeff Stolzel. Let me see. Where did he finish? Oh, man, these guys are commenting wishing that they won. But keep playing, guys, because we're
giving more away this year.
Yeah, Jeff. Where did Jeff finish?
Stolzel. I think that's right. I don't know. Sorry if I butchered your name.
He finished 33rd.
33rd.
Overall this weekend. Yeah. So
I think it was.
Congratulations.
Oh, wrong one.
Nah, we got to figure these buttons out someday. Come on, man. So listen, what other show can you get 4 of the 6 people that were on the overall podium at the GNCC in both pro classes of the featured races this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now we're getting ready to find out. Hopefully us.
Hopefully they all answer, right?
Hopefully they all answer. This is the first time that we've had 4 guests on the show, so hopefully it runs smooth. We're excited about it, though. It's
if you guys are wanting any questions for these guys, we got Jonny G,
Johnny Girroir, Johnny the Ripper is coming on right now,
and then Cole Richardson later. Jordan Ashburn, Jay Shadron. Get those questions ready. Fire them over.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Jonny.
How's it going?
Good, man. It's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Off-Road Show. Man, appreciate you taking your time and joining the show tonight with us.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to be on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, man, first of all, it's so awesome to have you back at the GNCCs. It's awesome to see that you're back from that pretty serious injury that you had going in out of round 1. And then not only just to be back, but to run an absolute killer race and kill it Sunday. Man, you got to be feeling on top of the world right now.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I worked pretty hard after I got hurt, and just like working back towards my goals and working back towards getting back to racing, obviously. And I was a little surprised how I did, but like I said, I knew I'd been working hard and stuff, and I was pretty confident going into the race that I was going to have a good race. So it was good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you come back a few weeks prior, running some sprint enduro races, but obviously that's no 3 hours. How tough was that third hour for you? Was that something that you felt like you were ready going into the race, or did you kind of get there and like, oh, I guess I am good to go?
I honestly I didn't know how I was gonna stack up. I mean, obviously everyone's been ripping all year, and the XC2 class is set again. And those guys have been battling it up, and Linden and Ryder and multiple guys. Liam, I mean, he was in potential to win, but he had a little mechanical issue and stuff at the last run before Snowshoe.
Yeah,
right.
And so I didn't know how I was going to stack up for 3 hours. Yeah, I went out and I did good at the sprints and stuff like that, but it's a lot different, like you guys said. And honestly, I felt really good in the third hour. I think the middle of my race was my weakest point, and kind of just struggled a little bit and planed out in the middle. But the beginning and the end was really good. And if I can work on the middle, it's something to build on. And yeah, I had a phenomenal race. First in XC2 and third overall is nothing to shake a stick at, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy where I sit going into summer break. I'm glad to get a 3 hour race under my belt, knowing what I can improve, what I need to work on, and like I said, where I sit. Therefore, I'm going to train hard this summer and come out and give it my best the last 4 races.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of snowshoe. So did you run the gummy tire like a lot of the other guys?
I did not. I ran a regular 81.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I know there's a couple of guys. I think Toth ran the gummy tire, and he had to go in for another tire change and stuff like that. I wasn't sure because was it the rain when the rain came down and made it? What was the track like compared to other years of snowshoe?
The track was gnarly and grueling. Rain came down, like you said, and then it stopped. And I kind of wish it kept raining, because when it was raining, it was better. Mm-hmm. When the rain stopped, the mud started tacking up and started, tracking onto the tar and in the pits. And I slid out on the tar, and I know of plenty of other people that did. I watched Grant Baylor go down on the tar pretty good, and on the rocks too as well. And just like those clay red uphills out in the woods, I think I want to say from like the 5 to the 9, that part of the track was just freaking unreal. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was almost one of the gnarliest tracks I've ridden. It was like Iron Man last year, but then add some rocks and roots in it.
Yeah.
So it was unreal. It was good to get a break. Like I said, the rest of the track, but yeah, about the 5 to the 9, it was a very gnarly track. Much different from when I've raced snowshoe in the past. I raced it 18 and 20 and 21, I think. Mm-hmm. So I don't have many years of experience there, but it was definitely a whole lot different this year.
Yeah. We you could tell, especially that right there, that little uphill beside of the pro pits. Yeah. Before you got to it, that was pretty treacherous on Saturday. I can only imagine on Sunday. After that rain hit it and all that, little rock uphill section was. Yeah,
he's talking about gnarly. Right after I think it's the FMF Power Hill.
Yeah, right after Power.
And then like that little woods section, that's where we were standing on Saturday, and I can only imagine that Sunday it was gnarly in that little 100-yard section.
Yeah, I mean honestly, the little side hill up the pro pits. Mm-hmm. I think you're talking right after that FMF PowerPoint hill.
Yeah. Yes.
It wasn't that tricky this year.
Really?
I mean, last year it seemed like everyone was bottling up there, and that hill was so hard to get up. And this year it was like a whole different story. Like, personally, I feel that that little hill wasn't a big issue this year
That's
as
funny.
it was last year.
That's funny because last year we were there, but the ATVs and the dirt bikes, and like it was the hardest section. It seemed like everybody was talking about that being the section that was the hardest to get up. And then we were there Saturday, and it wasn't that bad either. So
Yeah,
I don't know what, it looked the same to me. I don't know what changed.
Yeah, and I was so confused too because like I pedaled the track a couple times and I greased it every time I pedaled the track on my bicycle. And I was like, man, that hill, like, it seemed so much harder last year, and everyone was getting stuck. And you seen Stu and Ben stuck on the hill together, and me and Craig DeLong were stuck on the hill together. And it was just so much gnarlier, and it looks the same, like you guys said. It just had a lot more traction this year, and it wasn't half as hard to get up.
Yeah, for sure.
How were the ski slopes after all that coming down?
Oh.
Some of those,
No, the ski slopes weren't that bad, to be honest with you. They weren't nothing crazy.
Okay.
I would say FMF PowerPoint Hill, though, that was pretty slick and tricky to get up. If you lost your momentum, definitely could give you problems.
Yeah, there was a lot of amateurs.
Was there a mud bottom, very bottom? Was there like a wet spot clear to the bottom?
Yeah, I mean it was muddy come through there for sure.
I thought so because when we were watching, I was like, man, these guys look a little bit wet up through here.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean the 5 to the 9, you know, the 4 miles before that was the gnarliest part of the track, and it was going out there.
Yeah.
So that's probably where all the mud you guys seen came from.
It was funny. The last week on the show, we had a lot of guys on talking about how this is going to be a snowshoe. We had Walker Fowler on. He was talking about how he was up there while he was on the show and doing the Yamaha school. And was talking about how, man, it's so dry here. Like, I think all of dry talk is what brought all the rain. Because as soon as, like, it was like as soon as the PM ATV started, like right before there, it started raining. And then it just, like, there was episodes of downpours from then to the end of the weekend.
Yep. Yeah, that's mountain weather too. You never.
Oh yeah, you never know.
Can predict mountain weather.
No, absolutely. So, how did you feel about starting on row 5? It was you and Stu.
You started on row 4.
I was on row 6.
Oh, row 6.
Yeah. Because Stu and Mike went off together. I was say row 6.
Oh, my bad. For some reason, I was thinking you were on row 5. Okay, so that is a road that you were up higher in years previous. Like, did you feel good about starting on that row? What was your thoughts behind that?
Honestly, I didn't have much thought. I started in row 8 in 2018 on my Suzuki, and that was my first ever XC2 podium. And the rows only take off 10 seconds apart. And yeah, it would have been nice to start on the front row or the second row, right up there in the heat of things. But at the same time, starting back a little bit, I mean, all you got to do is catch those guys and ride with them, and you're already ahead. It's not even like you have to pass them. So it's cool in that perspective too. Like I said, it'd be nice to start up front, but starting back there, kind of just I sprinted the first lap, and I think by the second lap, I all the XC2 riders. So I basically in my own head was like, I'm free and in the clear now. Like,
right.
If these guys catch up to me, like I can ride with them, and I'm still ahead. So, I think starting behind, if you can sprint off the start and catch those guys, then that's the way to do it.
Yeah. How much is the running the sprint enduro style races? Like, do you think that helped play into effect? Like to kind of like play with the time, because that's all those races are, time races, and your sprint speed. So I mean, did that kind of help you a little bit? Or I mean, I know you're a really good sprinter anyways.
Yeah, it definitely does. It helps you sharpen your sprint skills and sharpen that high intensity, for sure. I mean, it obviously doesn't help with the 3 hour long race, but it definitely helps you be more aggressive and kind of get after it a little quicker, and for sure.
Yeah. I always think that starting in the I always think the way that the rows work, almost instead of playing like a benefit to you, they almost like are a hindrance to the guys that are in the front, because I feel like if it was me, it would play with my mind. Like if there's a bottleneck or something and like the guys behind me catch me, then I feel like, man, like now all they have to do is stay with me. And I feel like that is a tough thing to battle mentally. Whereas like, not carefree, but it frees your mind up a little bit to be on a further back row. I would.
Yeah, I feel like it just takes all the pressure off your shoulders. Like I got no one behind me that's gonna chase me down. Like I'm doing the chasing, I'm doing the hunting, and yeah, for sure, it definitely takes the pressure off and sets your mind free.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. So going back to your injury, man, that was such a gnarly injury. A lot of guys went out. It was terrible to see, but like it was also at the same time kind of like really cool and encouraging to see. Like I remember it felt like no time, and we saw videos of you back like you stretching and working out. You just talk about like a heart of a champion.
Yeah. I didn't give it much time to rest that.
No. I'm sure those exercises weren't doctor recommended at the time, were they?
No, probably not. But, yeah, I mean, so I obviously got hurt Sunday and went to the hospital. They thought I ruptured my spleen, so they flight me and kind of just some of the EMTs at the track freaking out for no reason. But then they got me freaking out, and I was like, well, if my spleen is ruptured, like, yeah, we got to get to the hospital. But yeah, so I took the light flight, and I got there and realized that wasn't the issue. That was all good, and we calmed down. And I did shatter my iliac crest on the left side of my pelvis, and they, I asked them about surgery and stuff just to maybe speed it up and get the healing quicker. But it was shattered in so many pieces to where they needed to screw that. They said they couldn't really do much with it. They said it would all pull back together and heal, and it's pretty spread apart and just jagged hook on the bottom and all floating around. And I was like, man, like I don't know. It doesn't really look like it's gonna pull back together by itself. But I guess you just had to trust the doctors, and it did. And it was Sunday night. I went in tests and stuff, and it was that Monday. I'm pretty sure it was Monday, right, Selena? Yeah, it was that Monday. The doctor told me basically. I said, hey, like, look, what do I do to get out of here? Like, I've spent my fair time in the hospital over injuries, and I don't like that place. So he's like, basically, if you can, stop taking the pain meds for 6 hours and you can get out of this bed and go to the bathroom, he said, we can let you leave today. And I said, all right, done. And I stopped taking their medicine and Dilaudid and stuff that they were giving me. And I waited 6 hours, and I was out of pain. And I got up and sat up on the side of the bed, and barely sat up on the side of the bed. I mean, it took everything I had in me. And I went to the bathroom, and he said, fair enough. And they put me in a wheelchair and wheeled me out of there. And I was home the next day with a shattered pelvis. I barely got out of the car, barely made it across the lawn, and I barely made it up the 2 steps we have into my house. And I slept in a recliner for 3 weeks in a lot of pain. But in between then, I got up, I moved, I walked to the bathroom, and the doctor was pretty straight up honest with me and told me you can push as much as you can take. And where my break was, pain or weight was not going to hurt it. So as much weight as I could put on it, I could do. So that's what I did. And I lived in a lot of pain for that month and stretched it and just walked on it as much as I could. And like you guys said, stretching, and then I got in the gym before I could even realize it. And I just never stopped moving and never stopped working towards my goal of wanting to win races. And yeah, that's why I feel like I recovered so fast, because I never gave it a break, and I never gave my body a chance to, lock up or start dwindling away or just sitting around doing nothing. I feel like just after it, and I was able to do that. I mean, some injuries you can't do that, and mine, I was fortunate and lucky enough that I could. So,
yeah, dude, that's awesome. It's a crazy story, man.
That's inspiring, right?
Very inspiring. Very inspiring. Because injuries like that, dude, they can drag a person down.
No, I mean that's just that's no like ACL tear. That's you know what I mean?
No ACL tear.
I mentioned that because an ACL basically took me out.
He tore his ACL and he's like, I'm never going to race again.
Listen. I don't get paid to race though. I got to walk to work. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just another injury to me. I've had bones blow out of my armpit and broke my arm and shoulder and cut the nerve in half and got life flighted when I was like 10 years old racing motocross, and was told that they were going to amputate my arm, and she snapped the end of my funny bone off and got that wired and together and almost ripped my foot off. And they told me they were going to take my right foot, and I've had grueling accidents.
No doubt.
It was just another accident and another bump in the road, and I just got a lot of faith and knew I was going to get through it, and just took the steps to get through it fastest.
Yeah,
a lot of moms, if you're listening, don't listen to what he just said about those poor kids aren't going to be allowed to ride no more.
The thing is though, is like, man, you talk about just like the building of like we just talked about a little bit ago, a championship part and like the desire. I mean, there's not many people on the planet that have that much desire, Brandon. It's just, it's insane. And it's really cool to be able to witness it and to be able to talk to you about it, on our show. Yeah, man, like what you did this weekend, was that, okay. So I wasn't sure, was that you rev bombing after you went to the finish line? I hope it was.
No, it wasn't. That was Rui Barbosa.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, dude, you deserve to do it. I mean, because I mean, you
just coming back from everything. It's got to be, it had to be emotional for you, for sure.
Yeah, it was good. Honestly, it was emotional. I thought about my dad and stuff, and I feel like just training weeks up to the race too, and really felt him with me, and felt his strength and courage and stuff. And I haven't really told anyone about that, but yeah, it was emotional. And even riding out on the track, I talked a little bit, and it's cool to share that with him. I obviously wish he could be there, and wish he could be at all my races and stuff, but I know he's there with me and watching, and gives me that extra strength that I need.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to be able to to take in and use it to your advantage, and it's kind of more comforting to yourself probably a little bit, being able to talk to him out there, and be able to go with it and stuff. But it's pretty crazy stuff, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, dude, just again, another just a stellar comeback, a stellar race, and so many emotions going through. How does that carry you into the summer break? Like, what's your plans for the summer? And I'm sure you're looking forward. I'm sure you kind of probably wish that we didn't have the summer break and we could just keep going.
Yeah, I feel good and I want to race now for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having 2 months of just building, and I'm going to train hard, like I said before, this summer, and come back and really show everyone what I'm made of. And I feel like there's more on the table. I feel like I had a phenomenal race, but there's still building to be done, and really looking forward to firing on all cylinders and coming out and really just putting a whole race together. It'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome, man.
You still hitting all the U.S. sprints up through the summer and still doing that?
All the U.S. sprints are done. The rounds. I raced the first 2, and then I got hurt, and I raced.
Okay.
But their series is a wrap for the year.
Oh, okay. Man,
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't realize it all. I guess the last full gas is coming up.
Yeah, a lot of series, a lot of sprint series are wrapping up for the season. It feels early in the season. So this feels weird. But hey, last question: did you get a chance to golf Did you golf in the tournament or anything like that this weekend?
I did not. I wanted to golf. I had a little incident. I was gonna race the Mason-Dixon GNCC, and I had a practice crash, and I tore some cartilage in left ribs. So I was kind of nursing that back, and I had to KT tape them up to ride and race snowshoe. And they're feeling good now, but I wasn't about to go risk it and be twisting all weird and stuff like that. And I wish I could have got out there. I had a blast last year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going next year. But this year I had to sit out, unfortunately, because I just didn't want any further damage to my ribs, and I want as close to 100% to race as I could be.
Totally understandable. This was actually my first year getting an opportunity to golf in it, and man, it was so much fun. Such a good time.
The vibes are unreal. It's a really, really cool event, and like I said, I'm looking forward to going back next year.
Well, we'll see you out on the links next year because I'm rubbing it in to Brandon here a little bit because he didn't get to do it.
I mean, he only gave me a 2-day notice. He's like, hey man,
next year he's gonna have to make it happen.
That's right. I'm gonna have to. I got more than a 2-year notice or a 2-week notice or 2-day notice.
Yeah, I didn't tell him I was doing it until like 2 days prior. So, well, thank you again for coming on the show. We're gonna let you go, man. He's already been on.
Oh, has he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So sorry about that. We had some housekeeping stuff, but man, again, thank you for your time tonight. Awesome hearing from you, and really cool to hear about the story, the comeback story, and then the race itself. It was really cool to witness it and be able to share that with.
Yeah, awesome. It was great being on the show. Appreciate you guys having me on, and we'll be talking to you.
Absolutely, man. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
All right, later, man.
Bye.
Later, bye.
All right, guys. That was Jonny Girroir. Man, talk about a comeback story.
Yeah.
He was.
That's just hearing everything about that.
The ACL took me out. I hit a pelvic fracture.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of them.
Whew, gosh, some of the stories, man.
Yeah.
Gnarly, for sure.
You got to be tough to ride.
You got to be tough. You got to be tough. Man, but he wasn't the only comeback this week, and Stu also came back and also put it on the podium in the XC1 class.
Right.
Ran a great up there in the battle for the overall. Talked about how he kind of shot his load a little early in the race and wasn't able to continue his charge towards the end of the race. But that's somebody that I cannot believe he had enough stamina and energy to do it. It was insane. So, this snowshoe is going to be hard to top. There was a lot of story coming out of this for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, he just looked back and looked just at the bike class is just insane. And then the quad class just flipped over in one race. I'm sure we all know everybody knows that Bryson Neal unfortunately had a DNF, and which brought the points lead a lot tighter for the quads. So I think Walker's 11 points back now.
Yeah,
don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
I think it's 11
points back. I am so glad that Bryson's not hurt. We didn't see the crash. There's no footage of the crash, but from what I've heard,
he's pretty lucky.
It was a gnarly crash. And if you guys haven't seen the picture of the swing arm, I've never seen anything break like that.
Nah.
But I'm sure he's going into summer break with a full head of steam.
Oh yeah. It's going to be good.
It's going to be a good season.
Just when we thought it was going to be all.
We don't want to see breakdowns at all. We hated seeing it. We actually talked about all season. If there's no breakdowns, it's going to be a great race. Well, that's if they each have one breakdown. Does it count as no breakdowns?
Right.
Can we just we're racing it, right?
We're kind of back to square one.
Back to square one, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, the battle for the championship is back on.
Back on.
And it's going to be a good race the whole season. So our next guest is going to be Cole Richardson. Man, he hasn't been having the year that I'm sure he has expected himself to have. But he threw the small tires on this weekend. Was one of only 2 guys to do it on the pro row, and he was able to put it on the box. It was funny because it was kind of I don't want to say a sneaky third place, but I think he'll even say himself, like he kind of had to battle his way up to third place. Right. And whenever, because there's no service up there at Snowshoe, we were kind of bouncing back and forth watching the race and, bouncing to place. And when we got to the podium and Cole was there, I was like, oh man, sweet. I was like, I thought that he was more in the 5th place range, but it was cool. You got to think the time adjustment too. Yeah.
Time adjustment. And then I'm pretty sure when Bryson did have his accident, it kind of caused a little bit of a bottleneck right there. And I think that let him kind of sneak up on everybody just a hair.
Yeah. Jess Shadron, that is Jay's mom, I believe. She said, nice meeting you guys on the track. The orange towels were everywhere. Yes, they were. For only 250.
That's right.
I'm glad we didn't go. It was green.
I don't know.
Or brown.
Brown.
I don't think, but it was really nice meeting you as well. It kind of added to the atmosphere, cheering Jay on with you there. It was cool. It was a fun time. We really enjoyed that.
I think that hillside about erupted when he came around.
In the first lap.
Yeah.
In the first lap. What? Like not only in third, but like right there.
We all knew like if he was in third, he was leading the race.
Yeah, I know.
At that point.
In such a close third,
right?
Because like I'm like when he came through and she was like, oh, he's in third. And I was like, wait a second, he's in the overall. And we just erupted. It was so cool. Right, it was a really cool race. That was a really cool section. I know Walker was taking that high line up there. Right. That split line right there.
It almost worked out a couple times for him.
I mean, I thought he was making up time.
He was.
I don't think I ever saw a pass there.
No, it was really close. I think Hunter was still leading the race, and he took it. I think it was like the second lap he took, and they met each other, and Hunter had the main line, so he had to kind of ease up and get back behind him. But it was pretty close, man. We couldn't figure out who it was at first because we couldn't find Fowler or Neal when they come through there because he kept taking that high line.
And then we were hearing that Walker was out of the race, that he broke a chain, and then so he was like, okay, that must have been Bryson, and then we were like bummed, like, oh man, Walker's out, and then we knew one of them
because we couldn't find.
We couldn't figure it out. Well, it took us like 2 laps to figure out who it was. The joys of not having service in the woods at Snowshoe keeps you on your toes for longer than you need to be.
That's right.
So let's get Cole on the phone and we'll talk to him his race
bike
and
quad.
It's like we did on purpose. No. No. You can't give me that much. You can't give us that much credit.
Don't forget, guys. Use the discount codes. Split line 25. Save $1 million.
That's right. Hey, Cole.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
So, back on the podium this week at Snowshoe. It was freaking awesome to see you up there. We were there watching, and like I was just telling Brandon, it was because we always kind of like we keep a peg on like you're one of the guys we always keep a peg on, but this kind of seemed like you kind of snuck your way up there. You had to work your way up to the podium position, huh?
Yeah, we got off to a good start there. Jason slid a little bit wide there in the first corner, and we was actually able to lead going down into Howard's Hole. And Jay had a good line through there, and you know how it goes, a little bit of chaos there early on in the race from all of us trying to figure out where to go, and kind of fell back a little bit, but I think we still actually, me and Jay were right up there leading the overall coming through the finish the first lap, and got down in Howard's Hole the second lap there, and I think I lost some positions, and Junior Glada ended up putting it sideways on like one of the one-lined areas, and actually ended up flipping off the rock, and the quad was on top of him in Howard's Hole, and we lost a lot of valuable time right there. I want to say about like 2 or something minutes. I'm quite sure. And, that allowed Devin, Hunter, the top 5 there and everybody to kind of get away. And by the time I popped out of Howard's Hole, I looked around and we was all by ourselves. And, I knew it was going to be a long day. We actually made the call to run small tires as well. And slowly just, started to reel those guys in. I think the 3rd lap, we found the fastest lap to kind of get back up in the mix. And made our way around Devin, made our way around Hunter. And, at that point when I caught Hunter, I knew we were physically, even behind him, I knew we had him on time adjustment for 3rd overall. And actually ended up physically passing him and gapping him there a little bit at the end. And I knew Jay and Walker were kind of quite a bit too far out. And at the end of the day, the year for me has been hit and miss, hasn't been going very great. So we knew we was in podium position, knew Hunter would have to pass me and gap me, 10, 15 seconds to get that 3rd overall. And I'm just, Snowshoe's a survival race. I was just pumped to put it on the box and, be on the podium going in the.
Speaking of surviving, I have a question. Like when you go down into Howard Hole, it seems like this is like is the 2nd year that they've kind of like made you guys jump off that dock. Do you guys like have any idea what your line's going to be going into Howard's Hole, or is it always just completely a crapshoot and just different?
It's honestly pretty much they allow you where they want you to go. Fortunately, though, I will say the last few years they've pretty seemed to have kind of migrated to the same standing spot. So, between the last 2 or 3 years, I want to say they've pretty much left us the only 2 or 3 lines that we could, that they allow us to take every year.
Yeah.
So, normally it's pretty much the same route that we have to physically go every year. So they're really much, you really don't even have to walk down there and check it out. I did anyway to be safe, but, there's tens of thousands of people down there and good God, it's a great time, but it's, you really don't have much of an option. I actually ended up breaking down there, I think in 2019, my clutch, and I've never got the experience actually being down there for the BM race. And I will say it was the worst time of my life because, you break, you're running top 3 in podium position, mid-race, you break, and, you have all the mud fleas and everybody offering you everything and anything. And it's like, you're so heated at the moment. It's like, God, get away from me. But you know how many guys are down there. And man, it turned out to, it was, I'll remember that for a while.
No doubt. No doubt. I was actually down there in 2019, but I had my 4-year-old son with me, so we were like kind of on the outskirts of Howard's Hole. We didn't go to the nucleus.
Oh yeah, it gets wild there. Like I said, never got to actually experience other than riding through them. Yeah. And like I said, it ended up being a good time. The dedication and to those fans and what they do. And even aside from the race, the stuff that goes on down there and jumping in mud holes, and man, I saw everything that night.
I'm sure you did. Did they actually? Sure, Brandon. Did we confirm if they actually did have a beach volleyball tournament?
They did actually. I can confirm that.
Okay.
So I went down around 11:30 actually before our race started, somewhere around 11, let's just say.
Yeah.
And they did actually have like a little string, not an actual net, unless they, how anything happmes down there.
Oh, yeah.
But they had a string at this point and did have a blow-up volleyball, and some of them were hitting it over. So I can confirm at some point that they must have had. They were having fun.
That's hilarious.
There was a lot of even at 11 down there.
Oh,
that's hilarious. We made up a bunch of we called them flea rags, and
I seen them.
Did you see them?
Yes,
Yep,
nice.
yep,
Oh, heck yeah, that's awesome. We made a ton of them, and we sent the guy that Isaiah White, the guy that holds the Free Howard's Hole sign. We sent him down with a trash bag full of them to hand out, and dude, it was such a good time there. And like I said, you guys, I was actually going to ask you if you're like been able to just kind of like take it in while you're in the hole, but evidently in 2019 you had
to.
more than you needed.
I had every experience.
Yeah,
absolutely. every experience that year, man. And it's I love it. But man, even being a racer going through there, you don't know what will happen. You know, you're getting, you know, it's stuff that I don't like is, you know, you're going through and, you know, you might have people offering you beer, but some people are throwing it on you, you know, and what they're patting you on the back. And one thing they might not realize is, all right, they might pat you on the back. Maybe your camelback comes unclipped. You know, maybe they throw beer in your roll-offs. You know, little things like that can lead to a little bit of extra difficulty that, you know, we wish we wouldn't get. But, you know, at the end of the day, some of us would not make it through there without those guys. So the risk and reward, definitely more of a reward having them down there and helping us through. But, man, it's, you know, you would have to race it or physically be down there to actually experience what goes on at Snowshoe.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's cool to witness. It's cool to be a part of. And just like I kind of look at that as Snowshoe in general as like one of the pinnacles of ATV off-road racing. I don't really think there's, I mean, I guess Iron Hill could rival it. Ironman Hill, I should say, could rival it. But those two have a class of their own. But another thing that ended up being pretty wild is the first turn down that we had going into the race. You might not like it, but as a fan, I want to. Brandon and I were talking before you came on. We want to
make it wet with the water truck.
We want the water truck to the starting line of every snowshoe because that was fun to watch.
Oh, I can imagine. I actually was sitting on the line. You know, I'm not a fan of big tires. I did run them last year, and would I put myself through that because I have enough testing on them. For some reason, I don't know. I've always ran small tires. I know how to ride the rocks with small tires. I grew up doing that stuff. And for me, big tires, I just feel like big bouncy balls, and I just cannot ride them to save my life. So I had them mounted up. I had them ready. I made the call. I'm like, listen, I'm going to go with my gut. I told myself after the race last year, never again. So I left small tires on. Then I go to the starting line, and it starts to pour. And I'm like, this might have been a bad decision. But no, you know, luckily I think about 3-4 miles in, the rain actually pretty much stopped.
Yeah.
So, you know, it made obviously I knew the road was going to be slick. You know, I've grew up, you know, on roads, riding around, doing all that stuff. So slick in the first corner, and the ski slopes ended up actually being very slick there the first lap. And I think that's, I don't want to, you know, say it's what happened, but I didn't get to see it. I think that's what happened to Bryson is, you know, I think he actually slid off the track and ended up hitting something there. I'm not quite sure. I just missed it off. You know, I just came around the corner and seen him there, and it's definitely a bummer. But, you know, luckily, I'm actually kind of happy it rained a little bit. It made the ski slopes not as dry and dusty because people don't realize, you know, snowshoe is one of the toughest races. Yeah. But the fastest that you'll ever get a quad up to, at least for us. People don't realize that. You know, we hit these ski slopes, and I mean, we're fifth gear looking for another gear, actually. Wow. Everything our quads possibly have, and it's honestly, I mean, a lot of these guys will back me up on it. I don't think we hit the same speeds anywhere else out of all 13 rounds that we will snowshoe. But
man,
on the other hand, you know, the west side of the mountain, definitely one of the tougher. So it's one of the toughest and fastest at the same time that people don't realize. But definitely was happy the rain. You know, last year it was actually very dusty there on the ski slope, and it got a little hairy there when, you know, you're going fourth, fifth gear tapped and you can't see a thing, and you're on a mountain that, you know, you can roll down a ski slope. So definitely the rain definitely helped. I'm glad it stopped, or I would have regretted small tires. But you know, I'm happy with the overall results. So
So how would you rate the track from like this year to past year's track?
Be quite honest, it was, you know, I'm sure it's very hard to make trails at Snowshoe and get stuff on the mountain, and you can't even get machines in the rock garden, that type of stuff. So, you know, nothing against GNCC, but it was, you know, 95% the same as last year. Obviously they do the best they can, and they did make some new sections and stuff was a little bit different, but it was very similar to last year's track. You know, layout. But aside from that, you know, the rocks are definitely getting more exposed. But on a difficulty level, I think even with a little bit of rain, I think it was, you know, for me, fairly easy. I would hate to see it and, you know, downpouring. We had that one year where it actually flooded the mountain, and somehow it ran off and the track ended up being pretty good. But before we got the rain, Snowshoe was definitely drier than it was last year, at least the parts that I biked. And that little bit of rain actually helped. It didn't hurt it. Obviously, you always have your muddy areas and the sewage water they have running out of thing you got to run through, that type of stuff. But, you have your natural springs and all of that. But, on a difficulty level, I mean, the west side of the mountain is the hardest. Howard's Hole is actually the easiest part, just for the sole fact that Howard's Hole itself is difficult, but that side of the mountain is all the fire roads. So it's actually the other side of the mountain that you get deep in the woods and, there's not a soul out there because nobody's walking back up the mountain. So, that's where you can make or break a race on that side because, it's not very easy to get to. So, but no, snowshoe's always a great time. And you either have a bad day and you have a good party or you have a good day and a good party afterwards. So
so what's summer break looking like for you? As like 2 months, I think, something like that. So
yeah, actually I'm sticking with it. Obviously in the gym, just got done mountain biking and definitely upping my program some. But taking this week off at least on the quad, letting my mechanic, get caught up on, just maintenance and getting some stuff all freshened up, get some stuff together to get some bills paid. And other than that, this weekend I have a bachelor party with 2 of my friends actually getting married. So
heck yeah.
Gonna have that. So snowshoe and then that. Good God, I don't even drink that much. But then the following weekend has a 9-hour race. I'm still finalizing some stuff with that. And following that, we have the riding section off road. So pretty much this first summer break, every weekend and week, I'm pretty much busy. And, I'm not sure 100% on PDB France yet, but Doug, which is the guy that runs our team, reached out and we're trying to finalize a team for France in August. So,
sweet.
I might be back over there, for 2 weeks in August to do the 12-hour race. And, definitely might end up being a pretty jam-packed summer, but at the same time, I'm going to take time off, let the body heal up, catch up on the maintenance side of things and obviously stay fit and, come out swinging. I feel like we're always strong the last 4 races after summer break, and I got points to make up with DNF at Camp Coker, and definitely being on the podium again in a summer break's a confidence booster. But I know the work we put in this year, the results haven't been shown, and I know it's going to come around. It's just a matter of time to have a little bit of luck on my side, and I'm definitely for the last 4.
Yeah, sure, man. So are you able to announce your 9-hour team? Do you have that? Do you have your?
I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't have anything for sure yet. Some people bail and some people are in, and still trying to find a definite third and kind of regroup with everybody from there. But in the back of my head, I always wanted to Ironman the 10 or 9 or any long race.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how long I'll be in this sport, but hopefully we can get something together for next year. But say we don't, at least do it when I'm in shape and still in my prime.
Oh man,
I've always wanted to, and I'm thinking hard about it, but knowing me, at the last minute will be like, oh well, nobody wants to team up, and I'll pretty much just go right into it maybe. But ideally, it makes it a lot easier with the team. But at the same time, I've deep down for some god awful reason, I don't know why, I've always wanted just to say I did it. Whether I get last break, freaking fall off my quad, I don't know. Just to try it, see what those guys go through. Because I've seen for Wyatt at the Heartland Challenge do it on a stock quad year after year in it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how they even do that. But it would definitely be a recalibration of the brain to go out there for 9 hours. You'd have to almost just go out and pace yourself, trail ride, and not race the race, and just focus on your class. Because 9 hours is a long time.
It's so long. And what's crazy is not like you guys. The conditioning and shape that you're in, it's going to be a tough race, but that's crazy too for the
first. I honestly, the average person might be better off than us just because we're so wired to sprint for 2 hours, and that we've always done. It's so hard to kind of take it back a step and not get in that zone of racing. So I don't know. It would the toughest thing definitely would be the bike and then the body. Making a bike last 9 hours and making sure you're fueled up and taking the right amount of rest during the race and just purely focusing on your class and yourself and not trying to go out there and be like, I'm going to go stay on the lead lap, because it's not going to happen. I don't care who you are. You could be Walker and Bryson. If you got a stacked team of 3 XC1 guys for 9 hours, I don't think any of us are staying on the lead lap. But, it's, if they're up for the challenge, go for it. But, it would, I think that would do good.
Well, I think that I've heard that, does it have to be a 3-man team? Because I think I heard that
it could
Walker,
be a duo.
Yeah, I think I heard that Walker and Devin are doing it, just the 2 of them. So that's an interesting thing as well.
From what I heard, it was them 2. I don't know for sure. I ain't putting words in anybody's mouth. I did hear that I think it was supposed to be Walker, Devin, and Josh, but obviously Josh had a little mishap at the A-Works that we raced at, and I'm thinking maybe the duo became a duo without unforeseen circumstances there.
Okay.
But maybe they'll pick someone up. Maybe they're playing. I don't know. Maybe they're playing mind games, saying they're a duo and they're going to show up with somebody under the radar. I mean, I've seen Mark riding a lot. Who knows? Maybe I know Mark's training for the 10-hour probably, but maybe he'll jump in as a third, to help out. I mean, you never know, and a lot of guys are secretive. I'll be straight up. I don't have anybody 100% locked in. Just we've kind of bullshitted and talked back and forth when they release the dates, and this is going to be the time I kind of grind and get around some guys, because I don't want to bother these guys going before Snowshoe and be focused on a 9-hour race before GNCC race, and get through the weekend, which we did. Let people recover from their hangovers, and go from there. So
yeah, for sure. I think that what I'm really excited about is the fact that, because we always wanted to go to the Heartland Challenge, but it's so far away, and this just seems like it's in the perfect location, because I feel like it's kind of in the heart of ATV off-road racing as far as location goes. So it should have a pretty sweet turnout.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's been the thing that's kind of kept me from the Heartland and, that type of stuff is, man, Iowa is a far drive. Mm-hmm. Is it a very cool event and very, it's a lot of fun. But I think, bringing another 9 to 10 hour race to the actual East Coast, pretty much based out of, will bring a lot of competition. You're going to have a lot of, duos or 3 stacks of XC1 guys. I feel like I don't even know who's all doing it. But it's just all of us XC1 guys, XC2, and most of us are from this area,
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's going to bring a lot of guys out. It's actually over at Tanner Walker's property.
Yeah.
So, it's at a fellow ATV guy's property. He already has trails and stuff, and I don't know what all be running, what they're going to be making new, but it's definitely going to be a cool event. I definitely recommend everybody checking it out. There's no excuses for everybody saying they didn't want to make the drive to Iowa now, because we have one right near home. So all those people that made the excuse, I'm not driving 12, 10, all these hours, I'm sure it's within way under that for most of us. Yeah. So, definitely looking forward to that event. Not sure who I'll be with 100% yet. And, I probably won't announce it. Maybe keep it under the radar.
I like that. I like that. Either show up team strapped, ready to go, or back up to the Ironman. Back up to the Ironman. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of guys listening that have to run the Iron crap.
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. I even messaged my mechanic Matt. I'm like, I might Ironman, and he just looked at me. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking, but maybe we're trying. I just want to, obviously I want to do a team. The payouts more for doing a team, even when you 3-way split it and take the cost, it's still going to be more to do the 3-man, because I'll still get more profit than if I did Ironman, signed up and then won. So, there is more money to be made, with a duo or a trio than Ironmanning it. But, I just think it would be a cool thing just to say I did it to myself, not to anybody, but just be like, even when I get older, telling grandkids or something like, oh, I was an idiot one time and did a 9-hour race by myself. Like, it's just something that I think would be cool to say you did, regardless of the results. So, but obviously, for a team, if nothing comes about it, maybe I'll do Ironman. But, we're going to try for a team here and see what happens. And obviously it's a Kenda event. I'm a Kenda rider, so we'll be there one way or another. So
yeah, perfect.
Definitely want to support, obviously, having a 9-hour on this on the East Coast, but definitely support one of my title sponsors. You know, Kenda's done very well for me, and you know, they keep me on the track, keep me racing, and you know, definitely want to return the favor. And you know, no matter what we decide, Ironman or team, you know, we want to go out and get a win, you know, for Kenda. So definitely looking forward to it. But I don't know yet, and I'm not going to announce it. We're just going to show up and see what happens.
Hey, I like that. Keep it like that. Like, just back them out of the trailer, and whether there's 1 or 3, to keep people guessing. That's the goal.
They think they might get me with pre-registration, but I'll wait to sign up when I get.
Exactly. There we go. There we go. I like that. I like that. So, this is the first time that we got the opportunity to have you on the show, Cole. Like, what's something that you like? Brandon and I always ask a few questions. Like, besides outside of racing, what's something that you sparks your interest that you like to do, like a hobby or something?
I mean, honest, you know, most of us, you know, eat, sleep, and breathe racing. Obviously, we train a lot. We end up, you know, bicycling, mountain biking, and that type of stuff. And aside from using those as training, I actually do thoroughly enjoy going out on the road, biking, mountain biking with, you know, the groups around our area and the people I got to meet from racing. You know, I do actually like, you know, being on the bicycle. A bad one's probably video games. I definitely like playing a lot of video games, but like, you know, you can make fun of me, but instead of watching TV late at night, what's the difference with playing a game, right?
I'll play them.
What are we playing?
It's hand and eye coordination. You get to work out your thumbs and fingers. You know, you need finger strength for racing, right?
We playing first shooter, or are we playing racing games?
First shooter.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Nice.
But, now, the thing is, I actually have a side by side. You know, all the time, you know, the right thing for me to do is be to sell it and program since I've been struggling. But, you know, for me at the end of the day, and I tell everybody, is like, you know, it's something that I can take out and enjoy and do the stuff that I grew up doing, because, you know, I grew up riding, and then obviously I got into racing, and then it kind of, you know, it does become a job no matter how much fun you try and keep in it. So for me to have the side-by-side and still go out with friends and do the same thing, but not have that stress of, oh, I need to be motoing or, you know, taking this serious. It's kind of like a stress reliever for me to kind of still enjoy being outside, bringing the girlfriend with me, still trail riding, and just kind of making it fun again for me to go out and, you know, do these types of things and kind of leave the quad at home, but still enjoy the same atmosphere. So definitely really enjoy taking that out with all my friends. But those would probably be the things, you know. It's hard to make another hobby when racing takes up
it takes up so much
time. So definitely I would say taking the side-by-side out with my friends and, you know, being able to have someone with me and still enjoy the same atmosphere is definitely the biggest hobby for me.
That's cool. Have you ever had the opportunity to do like the downhill mountain biking at Snowshoe, like away from the GNCC? Because that place is like a mecca of the East Coast.
I enjoy mountain biking, but, you know, and you think I would be good at like sending it downhill or wanting to, but those guys are on a whole nother level of crazy there. I mean, I've maybe or may not have snuck on some of the trails before. And I mean, they get very gnarly there. I mean, those, like for that Red Bull event, and
that's insane, isn't it?
They do have specific bikes for that, you know, more travel. So I know that would help, but it would not help me probably. But you know, those guys are insane. You know, you think like I said, would be good at sending down. You know, I will send one of those downhills on the quad faster than I would a bicycle. You know, I'm more comfortable on that. And I actually had a funny talk, not this year, but actually last year with like the administration at Snowshoe. And I'm like, you know, who is the rowdiest here? And their answer wasn't even us.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. The workers' answer was, they said they're, you know, and I'm sure there's different aspects, but you know, the ones I asked said that mountain bikers actually trash the place. Well, I don't want to say trash because that sounds bad for us, but they trash the place more than us.
Really?
Just from the aspect that they say that they get muddy out on the trail and they bring their mountain bikes in their rooms because they don't want to leave them out, and they just destroy their rooms and, you know, that type of stuff. But I was surprised with the answer. So like we get pretty rowdy at Snowshoe.
Man, I don't know how much rowdier. Like, I'm interested now.
I would hate to see it.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm interested now because I did not realize. Like, I assumed.
And maybe they like, when I was talking that, who just trashes it as in like a dirty aspect.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I find it hard to believe. I'm going to have to go to one of these things.
I don't know how much more. I don't know how much rowdier we could get.
I don't know either. So, that's from the workers and the bartenders at Snowshoe. At least I've asked in the past. Maybe their answer changed over the last year or two, but at least from what I got from it, those downhillers must get rowdy.
No doubt.
Got to get more rowdy.
Step it up, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to say that because GNCC is probably not going to like this.
Oh, well.
Because that now becomes like a challenge.
They're listening right now. They're like, challenge accepted.
Can we cut parts out and rewind, or is this live?
Oh, this is live.
It is live.
I know it is. I know. This is not Cole.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to believe. I know I always really like watching it on. I've never been there for that event, but I like watching it on the replays. I don't understand it, and I don't even want to take my mountain bike up there because I don't want to even be tempted to try something that I shouldn't.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, we think we're all invincible and try stuff, and like I said, I've seen some of those trails. Even taking the ski lift down, you can see some stuff, and I'm like, man, I would try it on a quad before I tried on a bike. It wouldn't even be possible.
Right.
Wouldn't it be sweet to hit one of those wooden bank turns on a quad?
Oh, that 100%. I would be all in for on a quad on that.
It would hold it. It would hold it for sure.
Yeah. My luck, I would do it and go right through it. That'd be a good video. As long as someone gets it on video.
Yeah,
no doubt. That would be a perfect video. Maybe that's what would set us over the edge of being more rowdy to take a quad and send it off that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would love that.
That would be the tipping point.
Yeah, what happened to Snowshoe this year? Somebody took quad through wooden banks on the mountain.
Exactly.
It'd be a story. Yeah. I just don't want it to be me.
Yeah. Unless they're allowing it and it's nice and
for sure.
That'd be sweet. So last question before we let you go, Cole. Everybody that's new on the show, and it's probably the hardest question of the show. If you had to pick a fast food restaurant and a candy for the rest, and that's the only candy and the only fast food restaurant you could eat, what would it be?
Is Chipotle going to count?
Yeah, yes, Chipotle counts.
100%. Yeah, this ain't a hard question. Chipotle, it's a bad thing for me too, but luckily I don't live as close to one anymore, so that's good.
Their portions are so amazing. It's huge.
And I'm always so hungry, and it's always perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can argue the fat and rice.
I'm all on board with that.
If you have a hard day, beat the body down. I feel like Chipotle is a lot better than a Wendy's Taco Bell type deal.
Totally.
And, I would have to go with Reese's.
Okay.
Yeah. But they'd have to be out of the freezer.
I was getting ready to say out of the freezer is the best way to go.
And what's funny is I've told people this, and they're like, the freezer. I'm like, you didn't grow up doing that? They're like, no. I'm like, how did you never even live without having a Reese's out of the fridge or freezer?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only way to eat them, right?
It really is. It really is. Nobody wants
even the Easter eggs. The Easter eggs are better than the normal ones.
Oh, perfect.
Man. And those Easter eggs are bomb. They are, dude.
But no, I would have to 100%. I don't even have a doubt in my mind Chipotle. But then candy I'm hit and miss with, but I would have to say good Reese's after a long day or something out of the freezer.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So those would be the two.
Solid choices. Brandon's a Reese man at heart over here, so he's
love it.
He's like, where's the freezer now? We need
right? You don't have any there? Come on.
Well, we need to get a refrigerator for the studio. Yeah. We just finally upgraded to having an AC unit. It was the tipping point a couple of weeks ago. We had the thermometer and it was 95 degrees in our studio. So I was like, okay, that's it. We got to get an AC. But now we need
for sure.
Now we need a freezer with frozen Reese's.
Now you need a freezer for Reese's. Just for Reese's, not no beer, water, just Reese's.
Yeah, absolutely, Brandon. You can't eat them in the mic. So we don't want to. Nobody wants to hear your
one of my biggest pet peeves is when I can hear somebody eat. So if you were doing that during this interview, I'd have hung up 30 minutes. I would have hung up 30 minutes ago.
I'm sure that everybody on Facebook and YouTube right now would also have clicked the exit button.
My one buddy knows that's my pet peeve, and every time we play Xbox, he's like, "I'm going to get a food."
Oh man,
I'm like, dude, I'm going to leave. if you keep doing it's like smacking his lips. I'm like, I can't stand that.
That's we do that all the time. My nephew, like, we'll be playing games. The next thing you know, you're
Oh,
my
Yeah, I'm
God.
like, dude, mute your
man.
mic or I'm out of here.
Yeah. Brandon, we just lost like 10 viewers. You just doing
sorry.
that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, right.
Come
They
back.
just all they didn't even give you a chance. They just left.
Exactly.
They opened up the podcast and just left.
Well, before we make any more mistakes like that, we'll let you go, Cole. Again,
For sure.
thanks for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate your time tonight, and we look for having you back on down the road.
Oh, 100%. Hope you guys take care and have a good weekend and the rest of your show.
All right,
right,
man.
buddy.
We'll
Thank
see
you,
you after
man.
summer break.
Yep. Take
All
care.
right, later.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, Cole Richardson.
Heck yeah.
Good interview. Just kind of get back in the race mode real quick.
Yeah.
What a race that was, the ATV race. We're going to touch back on it here in just a little bit. Jay Shadron's coming on at the end of the show, but let's switch back over
To the dirt bikes.
to the dirt bikes. I mean, we
are
playing this show out perfect. We are doing really good on time, and it's almost like we're professionals at this. Almost
just a little bit. So, did you pick the man that we're getting ready to come on? Did you pick him to win, or did we both lay off of him?
You mean in fantasy?
No. On our call outs. Remember how we were picking him every round. Did you call him out?
Did I?
I think you laid
yeah.
off.
You know what? No, wait, what?
I don't think you picked him.
To win?
Yeah.
To win the XC2 or to win?
Mr. Jordan Ashburn. Do you remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're back.
Yeah, we're back on bikes.
Yeah,
what
we're
are
back
you
on bikes.
doing? Oh my gosh.
No, I didn't pick him.
Give me professional.
I know,
here,
right?
guys.
I know, right? I'm sitting here bragging about us.
No, yeah. No, I mean, because I know I was picking him for a while, and I was like, nope, I'm jinxing him. I'm going to lay off of him. Did you pick? I think you laid off
I
him
laid
too.
off of him too.
Yeah, and look, I told you, you got to stop picking him. But we called it early in the year.
We called it early in the year.
The man
It
was
was
gonna
going to
get on.
happen. And while the wait was, I'm sure, painful for him, what a better place to win.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Is there
Snowshoe,
a
man.
better place to win?
The gnarliest,
The
toughest.
gnarliest of race. Jordan likes the mud, and it was muddy. It was a perfect race. Did you see the battles between him and Russell?
Yeah.
Going up the hill, they cleared, and it was such a good race. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, speaking of Ricky, man, he had a really good race too.
The gap was only 1 second between the two.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, wild, absolutely wild. So we're going to go ahead and get Jordan Ashburn on the phone. It's going to be a good show.
It is. Are we just starting a new show?
I mean, might as well. Let's just start a new one. Episode 83, right?
No joke.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey, Jordan. How are you, man?
Man, I can't complain.
Oh, I'm sure not, man. We're still pumped for you coming out of this past weekend. Man, congratulations. I'm sure what a weight lifted off your shoulder to get that win, and then like we were just saying before you came on, perfect place to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's one race. Like, if I could win one like this year or forever, like Snowshoe would be it. Like, it's kind of one of my favorite events of the year, anyways, and it's just kind of one of those that I don't know. It's a bucket list. Snowshoe is gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, I know it means a lot, but what did it really mean to you? How much it really meant to get this win off your back and to bring it to us?
For years, I mean, like, everybody's just been like, when you going to win one? When you going to win one? I'm like, man, it ain't like I ain't been trying.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, everything's just got to line up. And, we've been close all year this year and just been one or two little things in a race from being up front, battling for that win. And, I'm just happy to finally get it. And it's been good. I mean, this year's we've really progressed a lot, I think, as a team and the bike, and even me as a rider, just refined a few things, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Like we were saying, like just the perfect place to the mud, we've always talked about you as being a great mud rider. You really couldn't have had much muddier conditions, I guess, as far as snowshoe goes. I know it doesn't get really. I mean, I'm sure there's places it gets deep, but there's so many rocks that probably was your biggest challenge, was getting through the slick rocks and the steep uphills and downhills. I mean, it turned out to be one heck of a battle as well.
Yeah, it was weird. The place is weak because it was slick, like the rock. If you could get on rocks, you had more traction than you did in the dirt. Anywhere that there was dirt, going anywhere. Like there was a couple sections in particular on the west side that was just this red clay, like 5 or 6 ruts wide, water running through them. Red clay, hard packed, the stuff you've ever seen. It was like, and you could tell everybody that went through it was just skiing through it. Like there was feet marks, and then there was a wheel in the middle. Like, that's all you could do. I mean, and it was literally, it felt like it was a mile long, but it was probably a quarter mile. But it was gnarly. Like, and that started that whole section off on that other side of the mountain.
Wow. Yeah,
that's wild.
That'd be gnarly.
That's wild. That's wild for sure. And then, we saw the videos of where you and Will got together coming up the FMF PowerPoint. I mean, the level of racing that you guys were going back and forth, it was really cool to watch. And were you guys close to each other the entire day, or was it kind of like cat and mouse, catching each other and then leaving each other?
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. I mean, that first lap, that actually happened on the first lap, and I was a little too close. I should have chilled out a little bit, and he hit something and came right over in my way, in my line, and took my front out. And it's just a coincidence. Just was at the wrong place at the wrong time. But after that, it really jacked my bike up, and it was all twisted up. The front was, and got up to the pits, and it took a couple laps to get back, like to quit thinking about my bike was not straight. The lead was bent down, everything was jacked up, and once we got back going, it feels like I caught him when he stopped for the third lap. Whenever he done his tire change, right.
You didn't run that tire, right?
No, I didn't. Okay. We're on the Michelin, so they was on the Dunlops.
I gotcha.
I think he probably had 30 to 40 seconds. I don't know exactly at the pit when he pitted. And I think it took him around a little under a minute. So I got past him and maybe got 10 seconds on him. And that kind of kept us closer the rest of the day. I think the rest of the day I was going about 20 seconds or so, 25 seconds until that last lap, and I was in.
Wow. Yeah. People use that strategy, was maybe running a different tire.
Yeah, you don't see tire changes at GNCCs right. too often, but I mean, I guess the benefits outweighed the risk of potentially losing a lot of time with that scenario. But looking at your race in particular, I mean, it was one of those races where you were kind of just steady, just like the diesel, and just working your way through the whole race. And it was cool to watch you guys, like you said, you caught him and gapped him a little bit, but just a really good race to watch for sure.
Yeah, because right after I got around him when he changed tires, before we even got back to the pits or back to the finish line on the other side, he was already right back on me. So
man,
and he ended up getting back by me and back out that 30 seconds, 25-30 seconds, and so that's when it was kind of like the chase was on, and it was just trying to catch him all day. He was riding really good, and just wasn't making many mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. And then not only did you get your first ever win, overall win at a GNCC, but at the end of the day, you're walking into summer break with the white number plate. That's got to be, a surreal feeling and a lot of motivation going into the summer.
Yeah, it'll definitely, it definitely keeps me on my, I know what I need to do when we come back from the break. And just like, the last 3 rounds after, I heard Ben was hurt, I know I had to try to do what we could to try to get as many points to catch back up as we could before the break. And it went good. So I couldn't ask for much more. And, just put my head down and do all I can do. And we'll race it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So walk me through a situation, watching the race. We ended up actually watching the end of the race on the Racer TV broadcast, and you went through the finish line and you weren't sure if you won because you had to wait to see when Ricky came into the finish line. Was that what was that moment like for you?
I was like going into that last side of them, and I was a little ways down from him, and I was like, man, I have to catch him, pass him, and beat him by over 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, chances are it's not going to happen, but you never know, So, and whenever I was able to get side of him there on that last lap, and we ended up getting together, I caught him and we crashed together. Kind of our lines came together and crashed each other, and we got up and I was able to get out before he did. And I was like, man, it's just, I've got to try to pull that gap and hold it 4.5, 5 more miles. And all he had to do was, inch into it and he would have won the race. So going across the finish line, that's why I was just counting to myself. I stopped right there. I was like 10 seconds.
Man.
I'm just counting 10 seconds. I'm like, I have no idea,
And I'm sure your heart
and just had to wait, wait and see.
Yeah, I'm sure your heart is just maxed at that moment, and it's just that's got to be one of the toughest situations to be in, because Brandon and I were talking. We've talked people on the show, or several people on the show already, and everybody that we've talked to hasn't been on the front line.
Right.
I was saying at the beginning of the show that as much of an advantage as it is to be on a second line, being able to chase somebody down and just run with them to beat them, it's got to be such a mental struggle. Know that not only if you have to pass somebody, not only do you have to pass them to beat them, but then you have to gap them. That's got to be so hard on you guys mentally.
Oh, for sure. I mean, coming into the race, we knew that was going to be the thing. We was going to get the first ones off the gate, but the second row, third row, they got a good, we're not breaking trail in the first line, and if we make one little wrong turn or just hesitate 3 or 4 blink, they're on you that quick. So it's tough, and all you can do is just go for it. You just got to go as hard as you can, just like any other race. But it's just, you could be the first one across the finish line and not win the race.
Yeah.
So it's that's what's it's hard to, and the whole race, it's a whole nother, you're trying to run through your head as you're trying, head to head battle everybody, is time. Whereas Stu was on the 5th row, I had no idea all day. I have no idea where he's at.
Yeah.
So where's Jonny? Where's Toth? Everybody was all over the place. So it's, at the end of the day, all you can do is go as fast as you can.
Right.
And try to get across the finish line first.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
yeah, it's crazy, man. So with the points lead now, number 3. So I'm thinking we got to blacken the thing out. We got to black that bike for the Earnhardt. For the Dale Earnhardt. I've been pushing forward, man. Sick.
It would look sick. It would look sick.
Completely murdered out.
That's right, man.
Now, what's cool is think about this. Magna 1 is going into summer break, Brandon, with the points lead in the bike class and the points lead in the ATV class. There's not many teams out there that run both 4-wheels and dirt bikes. So it's I'm really kind of pumped about this. It's kind of like this show, we're all about both sports together, right. And then that team is doing the same thing. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, Jordan.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty incredible. Bryson's been killing it this year, and to have the points lead, and then, as we've kind of sneaked up on it, and a race or two ago, Chris mentioned it, and I was like, don't even talk about it. He's like, it'll be. I was like, no, let's not talk about it. It'll be what it. We'll do all we can to get it there, but it is cool for both sides of the sport. Supporting both sides. I mean, we're both together in the same series, trying to build the series bigger. So.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and it has to say a lot about that team over there, how much hard work they're putting in, and to the equipment, and you guys as riders and as a team together. I'm sure over there under that tent, everything's going pretty well. But so how was that gut seat, man, in that mud and stuff? That gut seat probably was doing the work.
We're also sponsored by Gut, by the way.
Oh, right on, yeah. No lie, I was so slippery all day. I couldn't even sit on the thing.
Oh.
I don't think anything you could have put on your bike. It was, if I had a 5-inch tall foam block back there, that might have. Aside for that, man, it was insane. It was so slippery.
Jordan, not what you're supposed to say. I'm just joking. No, I totally. Man, you guys were, we watching the ATV race. We thought that downpour at the beginning of the race was something else, but man, you guys really got the rain. Come Sunday.
It would have helped. The first lap was so easy. There was so much water on the track everywhere. It was crazy, but the traction real. And then, of course, when it stopped, when we splashed all the water out of the mud puddles and started dragging them all over the entire track. And I mean, the entire track, I've never raced snowshoe, and I've raced it ever since we've been there.
Right.
And I've never raced it where the asphalt, everywhere we were on the asphalt, had a red ring of mud wherever the bikes went.
Wow.
I mean, it was unbelievably slippery. So that just carried on to every section of the track all the way around. You had the main line was just covered in that goo, and it was just treacherous. I mean, trying to get traction.
So I didn't get a chance to look at your guys' lap times, but how much did the track go away during the race? How far did you guys drop off on lap times? Because I'm pretty sure you guys ended up running longer lap times throughout the race, right?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly either. I think it was the last lap, probably compared to the fastest one, was probably a minute and a half to 2 minutes slower.
Right.
Ish, something like that.
Not horrible. Not as bad as you would think.
I mean, you would think, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It'd probably take me a half an hour longer. So, Jordan, I don't know how superstitious you are. We're a little stitious over here, but we've noticed a trend lately. You have been doing this kind of pool challenge, and then you win your first race. I mean, are we going to continue to jump in the pool right after every moto? How does that work?
I mean, dude, I don't know. It's just something my grandma's got a pool next door, so every time we ride, it's been so hot the past few weeks everywhere in America, I think. And it's just been I'm going to the pool. I'm going to some form of body of water. Done doing what I'm doing.
Totally understand.
I love the water, so I'm all about it.
Absolutely. Right. And it's pretty funny how it's kind of caught up. And you're sharing a bunch of videos of guys jumping in pools. This studio has a tendency to get hot, so we might have to make a video of us jumping in the pool right after a podcast.
Please do. That'd be awesome. Anybody, keep them coming. That's sweet.
Absolutely, that's so cool. So, going into the summer, what's your plans for the summer? How much are you racing? Are you going to be able to take any time off and relax a little bit? So, what's it look like for you?
Yeah, of course. I'm not doing national enduro, so we got I'll be spending some time, just training and preparing, and not hard enduro. So I'll be riding some of that as well, and don't know exactly what we're gonna race, but I have plans of doing TKO, and I've done it the past few years, so we definitely would like to do that again. So that's a pretty gnarly event, and right in Tennessee State, so it's kind of hard not to go do.
Right. Yeah, those are some pretty. Like I said, I don't know how you guys do that hard enduro stuff all the time, man.
I bet it helped out on the rock.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely that place.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure that like snowshoe is like all the things really added up to be on your side this weekend. The mud, the rocks. I mean, that place is kind of right in your wheelhouse, if you would say.
It is. I mean, what I ride. I mean, the videos I post of riding here around home, it's just rocks. I mean, that's basically all we've got around here. And you know, it was nice to practice the past few weeks on we cut out I rode a bunch of my hard enduro stuff that I usually ride on my 300. Well, it's been so dry. It's like we've just been riding on the 450. So it's like, let's just get it dialed in and ride the gnarliest stuff we can. And, you know, I think it worked out well for snowshoe this year, especially on how gnarly the track was. And there was a couple sections they ended up taking out Sunday morning that were going to be really up my alley. I was really looking forward to it.
Oh, man.
So I was kind of bummed on that, but at the same time, it would have been nearly impossible to get up one of the hills to it. I mean, last year we had troubles climbing the hill going toward it, and it's literally not even hardly a hill. It's like an incline in the woods, and it was just really treacherous. But yeah, I don't know, just practicing that stuff, and got a lot of it around here, and it's fun stuff.
Yeah, and then right after summer break, you're getting ready. Once we come back, you're going to jump right back into
a little bit more,
not quite as gnarly as snowshoe, but back at the Mountaineer, man, you got to be confidence, to run the white number plate and then go into another place that has some technical terrain.
Yeah, that one, and then we go back to I can't remember, is that one first or is it John?
Round 10 is the Mountaineer, and then round 11 is Burr Oak.
Yeah.
Burr Oak, back over to John Penton.
Yeah, so I like the John Penton track too as well. So next two back, and I really look forward to racing both of those because they're kind of more my terrain as well. So so we go back to those. I think we'll be right at home and just hopefully pick up where we left off and be battling for the win again.
And then you got the buckwheat. That's in Preston County, right, Brandon?
Yeah. CJ Raceway.
Yeah, CJ Raceway. That's another somewhat rocky track as well.
Yeah.
So man, you got one track up for you in the coming off the summer break that look to be like your style tracks and full steam, and we're excited for it for sure. Yeah,
me too. I mean, I'm excited to get back in it, and it's needed some much needed time off right now. It's been a busy year, but looking forward to getting back at it in the fall, and seeing how the year goes, seeing how the year's up. I mean, we've put all we could this year, and our bike's really good, and the team's been awesome, and just try to reward those guys with what they've done for me, and try to get what we can get out of it.
Yeah, we're excited for it, man. It's funny because we towards the beginning of the season, at least through the first 5 or 6 rounds, we talked about how and Kelly kind of had it in the bag, and obviously we don't want to see anybody get injured, and it was such a bummer to see him get injured. But the XC1 class, I mean, the championship battle is there. There's really, if you look at almost every class in GNC now, as far as all pro class, and I can't think of one that's a runaway anymore.
Yeah, it's been really crazy racing. It's like you said with the bike, the one class. It's now back to a championship. The quad classes are back to type championships, and it's really exciting.
It's a good year to be a GNC fan for sure.
Yeah, and when we come back from the break, we'll have everybody back in XC1 too. I do believe so. I mean, it'll be packed, and everybody will be pushing for good results, and it'll be a show, that's for sure.
Absolutely, at a good venue. We'll be down there as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun. for sure.
I say we free the summer break and just
Free
get these
summer-
races
free
over
summer
with.
break. Brandon's still in snowshoe mode with a free Howard's Hole sign.
Oh yeah. It's crazy like how Sunday, like for our race, there is literally like 30 people down there.
I
It's,
see
Oh,
that.
no.
there's
see
nobody.
that.
Okay, so listen, like, we had Stu on last week, and we were talking, and you know how Stu always has all kinds of ideas. We were talking about how awesome would it be to be able to have Howard's Hole, like if we could run the ATV Pro race and then back it up with with your guys' race, that would be the perfect like solution to all of it. It'd be so cool.
That was insane.
It'd be so cool. It'd be so cool to like, a fan. Like I would love to be able to come and be able to watch, all of the best athletes, like the top ATV athletes and the top bike athletes race in one day.
Right.
I can just the turnout would be insane, and I think every race would benefit to it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll listen in on that and give it some thoughts.
At least just at Snowshoe, just so everybody can participate in Howard's Hole.
Definitely. I mean, for us, it would make it way more difficult because then you're at complete mercy of the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was talking to Johnny Gallagher Sunday morning. I was down there looking at the hole, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys can kind of go different places. We just have to go wherever they want us to go, and then they'll pull us out whenever they get us stuck."
Yeah.
Have you ever been down there for Howard's Hole on Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's so wild. We just had Cole Richardson on, and he was talking about how what was it, 2019? He broke down in Howard's Hole, and he said he was so mad, but at the same time, like it was like the worst day of his life. So
I could imagine.
Oh man, it's so cool, and I just wonder, like, I wonder if these guys ever get to really just kind of look up and take it in on how many people are lit on top of them. It's a wild scene, and I'm gonna make a sign, free Howard's Hole for the PM bikes.
There we go.
Absolutely. Well, Jordan, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, bud. It's always good to have you on and get your perspective on everything. Really looking forward to seeing how everything works out coming off the break. It's going to be great racing, and we're excited for it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the opportunity.
No Absolutely, problem, man. And one thing, Brandon won't pick you anymore to win.
We haven't.
We've
Neither
decided.
of us picked you to win,
Like,
and you finally won.
Back to that thing, like we're a little stitious.
Yeah.
Because we stopped picking you to the race that neither one of us picked you to win, and we prefaced it. We said we're not going to pick him to win because we've been picking him to win.
That's right.
And you won. So if you're listening to our show and we don't pick you next round, just know it's for a reason.
It's for your own good. It's for your own
Keep
good.
on keeping on. Right?
That's right, man. All right, man. We're gonna hit the pool. We'll talk to you later, Jordan.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, man. Later, man. All right, man. Jordan Ashburn, always good to have him on the show. Such a nice guy. And it's really cool to see him, like, where I say he belongs, right up there, right up top, winning races, taking the championship lead.
He's always
battling for the championship. He's always been like right there, and it's so cool to see him, finally get to that spot where that he has the capability to run.
All right, yeah, and then I mean, he was playing it down, I think, a little bit, but he's excited deep down, and had probably a huge smile and thinking about that white plate coming on his bike.
Oh, I know, man. It's so cool. And I'm with you.
I'm telling you, man, the red number 3, black it out.
Magna 1, if your guys are listening, let's do it.
Sick.
Let's do it.
He's already got the 3 on the bike.
Time out. Jordan, I forgot to mention this to you, but if you are still listening, you got a lot of time to get the stash going.
That's right. Get the stash rolling. And let's just go and get the big aviator sunglasses blacked out. See if Tomac will lend you that Daytona helmet he always does with the Dale Earnhardt.
There we go.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I mean, I guess like if you have the point that maybe it's not the time for gimmicks, but
dude, that's the best time. Head games. That's what this sport's all about. I mean, Cole's playing head games for an hour, and Jordan's just gonna be playing head games with the GNCC championship.
Yeah. What's up, Dan? David Hawkins and Toby. Said he broke down in Howard's hole, and it did not disappoint. Toby, I believe that we helped you up the hill. There he said it. Thanks for helping him up the hill. Yes, man. We appreciate it.
I want to ram my foot over.
See, I knew whenever I saw the beard sticking out of the helmet.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I don't know if he ran your foot over or not.
I didn't have time to look underneath the helmet. We were dodging quads.
Dude, dude, Toby's beard is solid. You didn't have to look very far under the helmet. It's right there. But being that we're talking back over to ATVs, let's talk to the man of the hour. Let's talk to Jay Shad. It was again such a cool race to watch. Watch him.
We were on it, man. We thought he was going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely had the speed and stuff, and he's been having a great year. So
yeah, he's been having a great year. And then like once we saw him that first lap, I was like, oh boy, it's on. Yeah. It's on for sure.
Hello.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing good, man. It's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. Thanks again for coming on, man. Man, are you still riding the high from this weekend?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I can't believe it happened.
Oh, dude, it was such a good race. Brandon and I were talking, and I don't know if you knew, but like we actually got to watch most of the race with your mom, and it was such a cool experience because she was going nuts, and in turn, like we were going nuts, and the whole crowd around us was going nuts. It was a good time.
Yeah, she said that she was down there with you guys, and she gave me that towel at the end too, the flea rag. And,
yeah.
I was just thinking about it today. I was just pressure washing everything, and the towel was in the bag with it.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. We ended up handing out about 200 or like 250 of those things, and so there's probably some still laying down in Howard's hole. We actually said we should have put our address on so they could send them back after they cleaned them up.
Yeah, hand them out again.
Yeah, there we go. No, we're definitely going to be doing that again next year. We actually might have to multiply that by a few times, but man, what an awesome race. Before going into the preview show, Brandon and I were talking about you starting on the second row, and we were like, man, he's got a chance. And like I said, when you came through that first lap, I was fully believing. I was like, he's gonna stay there the whole race.
When we saw those blue lights coming, we were like, oh my goodness, here we go.
Yeah. I am so pumped that you run the blue lights because like it just helps. And we knew we knew it was you before we knew that Hunter was the one in the lead.
Yeah, it really makes it easy to pick out, especially in those kind of conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did the race go for you? I know that we had that unexpected rain at the beginning of the race, and while you guys may or may not like it, Brandon and I are already trying to make a petition that we water the first turn every single year because that was some sweet action that we were getting to watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole day I was like, man, I wish it would just downpour as soon as the start happened. And the clouds started rolling, and I was like, I can't believe this is about to happen. And it couldn't have rained any harder. And I was like, this is going to get real interesting, real fast. And I'm glad I had the mitts on and I was prepared for it and everything. But it definitely made for some slick conditions there the first two laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we just had Cole Richardson on the show about a half an hour ago or so, and he said that it actually worked out really well for you guys to kind of knock down the dust on all those fire roads. So you guys didn't really have to worry about dust. It sounds like it's set up for really perfect condition for you guys.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, even on some of the roads, it was still at the end of the race was pretty dusty. So if it would have got that rain, I'm sure it would have been pretty bad. As slick as it was, I mean, it turned out pretty much prime at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you run the big tires or small tires?
I went with the big tires for the first time ever, and I'm glad I did.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because Cole talked about how he ran the small tires and how it was like, he hates sitting on the balloons of the big tires. I'm an ATV guy as well, and I've never actually ran big tires. How much different does it feel running those tires? And I guess sitting up an extra, 2 inches probably?
Yeah, I mean, I even cranked the ride height up a little bit before I put the tires on for the clearance, and so I was real high. But I think they worked great in the big rocks and everything like that. I didn't seem to struggle with it, other than it's a little top heavy in the corners, and the high speed stuff's a little bit sketchy. You pretty much start on the inside of the corner and end up at the outside.
Oh,
I gotcha.
Do you get a lot of like roll on the tire, like rolling, like the tire
folding on it?
Yeah, the tire folding. Does that affect you guys at all?
I didn't notice it a ton. I mean, a little bit maybe on some of them more hard packed ski slips, you get a little bit of that. But I mean, everything else bothered me too much. I don't know. I'm sure each tire has different sidewalls and that, and roll more than others pretty well.
Right, absolutely. So going into the race, were you like, what was your mindset going into the race? Was it like, was your mindset on XC2, or was your mindset on that overall podium?
Coming into it, I mean, all my buddies were always on me about top fives and podiums and stuff like that. So I knew I could do it. I knew I had the speed, and obviously I know snowshoe. I've raced it for so many years, and I came into it. I just needed that class win, and I was shooting for at least be a contender for a third place is what I wanted to be. At least be there in the mix with those guys, and yeah, I mean it worked out a lot better than that.
No doubt. Now, okay, when we saw you for the first time, I mean, you were already right there. I believe that you were probably actually in the overall lead when we saw you on time adjustment. When did you like, okay, like, I'm here to do this? When did that you?
I think, well, the second I seen Hunter was out front, Devin was in second, and we had caught them. They were out of sight for a while, and we had caught up them. And once I ran that pace for almost the full lap, I realized that I could run that the whole race, and I could be there in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, it was so cool to be able to experience that, like experience like the joy of like your mom like watching it, and it was just a really cool day for sure. Right. You know, going into the finish line, I mean, you weren't that far. I mean, 8 seconds. That's really not much, especially at Snowshoe. Yeah. On potentially winning the whole dang thing.
Yeah, man, I knew it was going to be close, but I knew with Walker being out front that last lap, and he knew that I was behind him and he had to run, and that's a hard pace to keep, coming from somebody like that with that many championships. So I just did the best I could. I tried to stay on as long as I could. He got a couple lappers clean. I mean, he just got out of sight just that little bit, and it was enough for me to fall off, enough for him to get away. And yeah, I mean, everybody was going nuts at the end. I guess he got hung up on that where you guys were the last lap. And everybody from there to the finish line was just going crazy. So I knew something had to happen, and I had to be super close. So, I mean, it was just all I could do, but fell a little bit short. But, I mean, I can't complain.
Oh, no, dude, you can't complain at all. It was so cool. It was awesome to see, like, the emotions that brought to you. Like, that was I'm sure just like a really emotional race for you.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everyone's goal is to be on that podium, and I said goodbye to that years ago. So it's just if I can do that again, it's just almost
the confidence hopefully made for XC1 that knowing that you can still run with the top guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a confidence booster. I mean, we're shooting for it. The only goal I got left now that's done. I mean, that was a goal for this year, was to get a podium from XC2. I mean, it's been probably 10 years since that was done. And so the only goal left now that I haven't done is to win an overall. Yeah. So we're really shooting for that, and I'm not going to quit till I get it.
Oh, okay, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like we're excited to hear that. I mean, it sounds like, you know, when you came back to the sport and, you know, raced in the junior over into XC2. It's always been like I'm doing it for fun, and as long as it's fun, I keep doing it. But it almost sounds like maybe there's like while you've been doing this and you've been doing so well, it's like rekindling a super like lit fire in you.
Yeah, for sure. Just more of handling everything on my own, and just it makes me pretty much make my own results with how much I put into it. And so that just drives me more to do better and get the results, and it keeps it more fun. Having to like rely on someone else, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Jay, how old are you? I know we asked you at the first show, but I forget.
26.
26. Okay, so we talk about this, a lot of people say like this is a young man's sport on the ATVs or the dirt bikes, and while that is true, I've always talked about how like I feel like, man, if you could just like have the mindset that you do as a late 20-year-old and like the strength and speed that you do as when you're younger, like the mindset is so much better when you're closer to 30. And I feel like you're kind of in that sweet spot right now to where it's like, you're not, I mean, you got burnt out, the first time around, but it's rekindled a fire and you're not burnt out now. And it's just, I mean, you're in a really good sweet spot, I think, with the right mindset and then the strength of your body and like kind of like the freshness. Like really, it's only your third or your second full-time year back, right?
Yeah. I started last year there in that junior A class, but I mean, I hit a few in between, but I mean, that doesn't count much, just one here or there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I'm enjoying it now more than ever. I think that I'm really starting to figure out more setups, changing some things, getting stuff figured out to where everything's working the way I need it to. And my body's, I'm strong on it. I'm confident, like everything. I just need a little more time to put into training and a little bit more seat time, and we'll be right up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you definitely. I think if you just get that sprint speed down, I think you'd be golden, man.
Man, I mean, sprint speed like this guy's been.
Well, I mean, he's sprinting.
I mean, we're talking. He's led the overall from XC2 on the first lap anyway. So we're right there. I think, man. The program's on its way.
Yeah, I think we're in the right track for sure. Just gonna take that little more to get that next step.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into the summer break, like, are you going to be able to take like a break? Are you doing an hour races by chance, or what are you doing for the summer?
We talked about it. Like one of the guys kind of fell off the team we wanted to be set up, and then kind of threw it out, and then it's kind of there. So it might be a last minute thing if I'm going to do that 9 hour or not. We'll see. But I like to do a lot of the New East Coast series. I like to run them. Ronnie Paul's good friends of ours. And, I like to go support his series, and they always have good tracks. And so probably I'm thinking about hitting a High Point Buddy race this weekend.
Okay, yeah.
Whether I find a teammate or just Ironman it, I don't know yet. But I'd like to do that. And then, hit his races on the summer. Keep trying to work out, but then have some fun too, like go boating and side-by-side ride and all that, hunting in the fall. So we'll, I mean, it's a little bit of break for racing, but it's still there at the same time,
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Devin Masters just commented and said that he's looking forward to you coming out to the locals more to help him chase you.
Yeah. We had a good run there at the last one. He was moving, and it was a good race for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome for sure, man. So, man, I'm pumped. I think how long do you? Man, are you pretty close to wrapping up the championship at this point?
I think I have to have 11 races regardless of.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I didn't look too much into that yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
So if we have the points lead going into, let's say, Ironman, the last round.
Good question.
What do we see Jay Shad on the XC1 line?
There's a good chance. Yeah.
That was an interesting race with guys bumping up and just like, I guess, kind of throwing their name in the hat and seeing where they're at for sure. So I actually have a listener question here. What is your favorite track of the whole series, or maybe even not in the series? Like, do you have a track, a local track that's your favorite track?
In the series, I don't know. It's a toss-up between Snowshoe and Coker, but I really like the Coker. I like that sand and how it's not straight sand. It's like a sand-dirt mix. I really like that.
Okay.
And, it really works well for me there. Man, local tracks, you know, I really enjoy High Point. It's always a fun local for me.
Yeah. High Point's always a good track. They seem to do well, like, with mixing it up there with the different terrains and throwing in some different things up there for sure. What I think is kind of funny is like Coker and a toss up between Coker and Snowshoe. I feel like those are almost like polar opposite tracks.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're both up and they're both pretty extreme conditions. I mean, that's what I seem to do well in one extreme condition or the other. I mean, in between, I'm still pretty good, but I really like the hard stuff.
Yeah, you're pretty decent on the in between, I'd say.
Yeah.
So during the podium interviews, like Walker talked about how like your line through Howard's Hole was like the line. Like, how did you just kind of stumble upon that line? Because we know it's kind of hard to scout Howard. You're not really able to pick a line because they kind of pick it for you.
You didn't hear those 50 people cheer when they talked about that, and you know he had his own line.
I guess so. Like, so how did what made your line so good through Howard's Hole?
I actually made that line last year.
Okay.
And, I took it just about every lap, and it ended up not being that much faster last year. It was just a clean way through, and I went down there this year and it was still good. Threw a couple logs in it, and I told my buddy, "Let's have a crew that goes down there. They love it." And I said, "I'm going to do this first lap, sit, watch, and see what's the best. If the other line is better, we'll work on that for the rest of the race." And man, that line, I'll tell you what, it worked 15 times better than last year. I mean, every time I went through there, I was passing those guys. I mean, I passed everybody for the physical lead there at one point, the one lap. So, I mean, it was just awesome.
You seen the blue lights coming, and you see like all once the crowd just separates, and then he goes and it comes to closing back up.
My one buddy would run through there, run in front of me, and he was checking people out of the way and everything to clear it out for
That's
me.
awesome, man.
Oh man, that's so cool. And it's like that is like the one thing I love about snowshoeing for one. Right. GNCC in general, like it takes a village, man. It takes a village, and it's so cool to see like I think like the snowshoe's just like the mecca of GNCC, and Howard's Hole's like the nucleus of it. And I know watching the videos, Brandon, like I've watched those, and like Jay, like you can visibly see how much faster he was in Howard's Hole. It was wild.
Yeah. I mean, I got through there clean every lap. Never got hung up. I mean, I got hung up a little bit there with a couple guys, but I mean, I never got stuck in the point where I needed to get off or have pushed out. So that's really one of the keys to getting through there clean and fast.
Yeah. What always like what I find crazy is like they've had you guys jumping off of that rock, like entering in Howard's Hole for the past like couple of years, and I think it's always wild how you guys are able to do it, like because I always think of like, man, I feel like it's like slick and it'd be hard to keep the front end up enough to jump off of it, because I feel like I would like gas it and spin and then nosedive, and like you guys don't do that. You guys look like pros, I guess.
I hate that thing. I rolled on that rock last year doing the same thing you're talking about.
Yeah,
you go up to it and hit the gas and it just spins sideways. I ended up rolling it there last year. I was like, I'm not doing that again. So this year I just carried a lot more momentum down through it and just kind of drove off more than going up to it and trying to jump
off of it.
Yeah. We have a question from Jay Dillon asked what was going through your mind when you knew you were in the lead?
Pretty much just to stay there till the end. I mean, the lead doesn't mean anything until that checkered flag's out. So just do what I could to be there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna follow up that, like going into like the last lap and finishing off the finishing it off. Like was it like, were you in a situation where it was like, man, I just want to get this race over with, like let's just finish it, or were you saying like, how was those last few miles?
I don't know. It's almost hard to even think about.
Yeah,
because so focused on just trying to catch him and then get there. But I wanted it to be done, but I wanted it to be more time to try to reel him back in at the same time.
Nice.
I know there were some sections, like if we would have ran Howard Toll at the end of the race, I knew I could have caught back up.
Oh man!
But he had me on the other side of the mountain. I couldn't quite carry that momentum he was through there, and yeah, I was happy either way. A podium finish would have been great either way. So
yeah,
I'm not upset at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jay, we appreciate you taking your time out to talk to us today. We know that you're at work and busy, man. Which is another thing I think is crazy, is that you're able to like have a full-time job and still go and kick butt.
Get an overall podium.
Get an overall podium at Snowshoe. It's wild.
Yeah.
But man, we appreciate your time tonight as always, and look forward to having you again on the show at some point in time. But you have a fun summer, man, and we look forward to seeing you at the Mountaineer.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, later.
Bye. Yeah, it's
Brandon. We navigated through this whole show and was able to get everybody on, and like perfect timing, man. So awesome. These guys are so cool.
They
like
are, man.
Jay, like taking time out of his busy schedule to talk to us. It was I can't stress enough how this snowshoe was just one for the record books, in my opinion. The racing was great. The atmosphere was great. The people were great. People whipping them flea rags around. It was a good time, and it was just insane racing to top it all off.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of guys that we haven't really got to touch on too much, like Devin Feehan.
Yeah,
those guys rode a heck of a race, man.
They did
out front most of the race.
Yeah. They did, man. I felt for Devin Wishline.
He
like,
didn't have any goggles
didn't have any goggles.
Yeah.
His eyes were filled with mud.
Yeah,
just the I don't have to go through is wild. Like Devin ran a great.
How hard that is unless you do that.
Yeah,
ride without, because dude, he's probably still cleaning mud out of his.
Back on here soon. Yeah. He's been having a insane year. Is the fight for the overall podium for the end of the season. I mean, I believe he's in 5th place right now, but I don't think it's by very many points. It's good racing. Like we've had really, really good racing from first place back. We're clear top 10 positions.
Right. Besides the top 2 guys, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe 7th place is like toss up every other weekend. I mean, Bryson's been kicking butt. The last besides this weekend that happened with the DNF.
Yeah.
Before that, he was 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
So I mean, those guys had that wrapped up. But man, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You didn't know they were all swinging punches. They're all trying to get on that podium, and it's pretty insane.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what's crazy is like you said, you could either finish 3rd or finish 7th just as easily.
Right.
Just as easily.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of them has had a podium. John Glotta, Feehan, Hart, McClure. Man, am I missing someone?
Now, there's been Jared McClure, obviously, but there's been a podium. Like you said, everybody in the top 6 has had a podium this year.
That's crazy.
And yeah, it's wild. And it's so cool to see just great racing from these ATV guys. And Toby Hughes says that Devin Masters is a beast. Absolutely, Devin's a beast. And I want to give a special shout out to Devin for letting me and my brother-in-law, Tom, crash in his hotel room. We really appreciate the hospitality, man. Devin's a good friend of the show, a good friend of ours personally, and I guess I'll go ahead and tell that story really quick. So Tom and I.
I'm so glad I didn't join you. You told me you had a little cabin.
We had a nice.
I'm glad I didn't say like, I'm gonna call off work, screw it, and come stay with you, because after I found out.
So we had. I thought we had a cabin, and when I was confirming our cabin arrangement with Tom, Tom was like, no cabin. We are camping in a tent, so grab your tent. And so it was my fault for not really paying attention to what he said to me in the first place. So we had this campsite picked out about 15 minutes away from the mountain, because like you can't get anything up there that late in the game.
Right.
Like we weren't planning on staying Friday night until like literally I want to say Tuesday.
It was like, hey, you want to go play in a golf? I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was weird, but we ended up heading up there, and while we were on our way up there, we had actually packed half of camping stuff with my wife because she needed to come down on Friday. She needed to come down Friday night,
Right.
And so half the stuff, camping stuff, we packed with her. Half the stuff was with us. And while we were halfway down there, something happened that we like didn't expect. And Brittany, my wife, and my sister-in-law were not able to come down Friday night. So here Tom and I are with a debacle. What do we do? Because we have half of our camping stuff. So Devin was didn't even ask him. The dude just offered. I actually asked, I said, hey, do you think that Dusty would mind if we popped our tent up beside his trailer? And he said, dude, do you not have a place to stay? I'm like, oh, kind of not. And he said, just crash on our pull-out couch. So
you should just went down and knocked on Stu's door. I mean, he'll just take anybody in, I think.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I guess so. Yeah. Hey, next time we do have to join you guys for dinner. We had a stir fry, but Tom and I have just. And yeah, Abe and they were very hospitality.
They were hospitality.
They were hospital. No, they're not hospital. No. I don't know. How do you say that? Whatever it is, the hospitality was there. It was there. But Tom and I ate at the Foxfire. Was overhearing Caleb Russell telling guys that he was not going to be running in the 3-hour race. So if you guys picked him in fantasy, my bad. Hey, everybody thought the guy was racing.
People were still confused going into like Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
If he was lining up or not.
Race in the morning.
No, he didn't even.
I even put Zach Osborne on the list as a possible racer, and he wasn't even there. Nobody picked Zach, so nobody fell for that one except for evidently me. But I didn't want him to show up and then to be an automatic 22 handicap, because Zach had the potential to be in the top 20 for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, and at that point, Stu was like, well, I might ride Sunday, I might not ride Sunday. I'm like, what's going on? So a lot of games, a lot of different scenarios that was going to happen.
Yeah, Toby, you're right. That hibachi, that smelled excellent, and I actually took a couple bites of it, and it was extremely good. It was extremely good, but I was already full from dinner.
Yeah.
But so hey guys, if this is your first time joining the show, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
As always, like, we don't ever really say this, but if you want to share it.
Yeah, we're really bad.
We're really bad about saying that.
Really
like
bad.
we're really bad about self-promotion.
Like we really we didn't just make a sign that sits right here that says please share.
Yeah, and if you guys, we've actually had some people reaching out to us asking us about the flea rags, if we have any more. We only have like a couple. Flea rags. I think we have like a dozen.
We have to make another special order.
Oh man. Well, what we'll do is, though, if you guys want some flea rags, I actually made this deal with a guy today. I will send you a flea rag for free if you purchase one of these shirts right here.
Gotcha.
So hit us up for a shirt.
If you're a medium, might not want to do that. I don't know if we have any mediums
or
left.
2X.
Yeah.
We got larges.
Don't be small, don't be big.
We got larges and we got smalls and we got extra larges. We got a ton of those. So hit us up and we'll guys a shirt and a flea rag for the first 12 people that order a shirt. So
top 12.
Top 12.
Top
That's
12.
right. So again, guys, hey, who was the guy that I don't think he's watching live? Who was the guy that won the XC Gear Maker 360?
I think his name was
Jeff
Strussel.
Jeff Stroessel.
Strussel?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm sorry if we're butchering your name there, buddy.
David, actually, I would definitely save them for the team race, but unfortunately, neither one of us are going to be able to be at the team race.
You can't make it.
No, because I'm going on a fishing trip with my dad.
Oh,
yeah. Last minute decision to do that. Brandon, you're going to be at the final full gas race.
North Carolina.
Yeah, we're bummed that we're not going to be there.
We are, sponsoring a little bit.
We are sponsoring the race a little bit, and we are sponsoring a team as well.
Yeah.
Devin, shoot me the names of the guys in your team. It's Devin Masters' team. It's going to and it's going to be the Gators Racing as well, and then we're going to throw our name on there as well. We're going to help those guys out.
Did he fine print about if he wins some money? Split line gets like all of it.
You weren't supposed to say that. That's a fine print for a reason. They make fine print for a reason, Brandon.
Man. I blew it, didn't I?
You did blow it. But the team has Devin on it. It's Chase Allison, Damian Hawkins, and Devin Masters. Actually, next week we're going to have at least Devin in studio, and if either one of those two guys can make it in studio. I think Damian lives a little far away, but if not, we can call him. I know I'm making promises out loud that these guys don't even know about yet. So you guys ain't coming on the show next week. So it's gonna be time. But Devin studio next week. I think we already set that up with him. I think.
Devin on the spot. He's like, oh man.
Chase will be here as well.
Okay.
Chase Allison will be here as well. So we're going to do another four-man podcast, and then Damian, if you can't make it on, or if you can't make it in studio, we'll give you a ring and talk to you a little 9-hour race. And Chase is in. He says he's in.
Sweet.
Man, great community we have here. Yeah. We appreciate you guys as always. It's been a really fun show tonight, Brandon.
It's been busy.
It's been a busy show. Can you believe? Yeah, Damian said he can come in by phone. Can you believe that we went through 4 pro riders and like we did it in a timely manner? I told them like what time they would be on, and we were like on it.
We were on it. We definitely had to be on it.
We definitely had to be on it today. This is the show that we ever had. But action packed. We appreciate you guys listening as always. It's been a really fun show. Like I said,
it has. It's been a really good show. I know when we were putting this together, we're like, dude, like what a turnout.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I thought you were lying to me.
I wasn't. I mean, he asked who's going to be on the show tonight. I said everyone.
Yeah.
I said, did you happen to see the podiums, the XC1 or the overall podiums for both afternoon classes? Right. Yeah, all those guys.
All those guys.
And the 2 guys that weren't on the show, they were just on the show like last week and the week before.
Right.
Yeah. Walker Fowler's the man. Like he loves coming on. We love having him.
Yeah. And Ricky Russell.
And Ricky Russell loves being on the show too. Like everybody.
Everybody loves to be on.
Everybody love everybody. Go ahead, break time.
Is it time, man? It's that time. Guys, we really appreciate you. Like you said, appreciate all the guys give us. It's kind of surreal for me and Coop here doing this. But if you really want to keep supporting us, you got to support these guys, because without them, this show wouldn't be where it is today. So Guts Racing, guys, if you don't have a Guts Racing seat cover on your bike, go get one. They're awesome over there. Andy Gregg's awesome guy over there. Guts Racing seat covers. They can do anything you want. Customizable, completely from seat, foams. We changed it up the music a little bit.
We're going to put real music on here because, guys, listen, we're getting flagged for having music on the podcast whenever we
are using
free junky music. So if we're going to get flagged, we're going to play some good music, fellas. Let's get flagged.
We'll take the 15-yard penalty.
That's right. Let's go. Go ahead.
All right,
Continue.
Guys. Continue. Great seat. Go over there to Guts Racing. Hook yourself up. Best seat there is. Jordan Ashburn just showed that off with the overall victory at Snowshoe, even though he said he didn't really use it that much. But still.
He did.
He
He just wanted to be modest.
That's right. He's a modest guy. And all right, guys, Seal Sabers. This weekend at Snowshoe, you guys should have had these things on because
now you got to rebuild.
Now you got to rebuild your shop. ran snowshoe over the summer breaks, sending their shocks out, forks out, everything out. You should have just used some Seal Savers and saved your guys some time and money. And if you want to save even more money, split line 25 or just split line?
Just split line. Capital S. That's all you need to remember.
Save 25% on some Seal Savers. Anything over there.
Yep, absolutely.
They have all kinds of stuff. Check them out.
Do we have discount codes?
Just for Sunstar.
Oh, yeah. What about that one?
That's 30% off?
30% off. That's basically like a sponsorship, Brandon.
It is. It is a sponsorship.
Yep. You want to be sponsored by Sunstar Chain of Sprockets? Just use a split line code.
And what
30.
are they made of?
Case hardened steel, baby.
That's right. That's right.
I gotta add the baby because that's all you.
That's all I say.
Yeah.
But people love it. But they also have aluminum over there if you want a little bit of aluminum sprawl. But
yeah,
the case hardened steel is where it's at.
That's right. Devin just said that it made it through snowshoe even though he broke his skid plate.
Oh, look, see that?
We were bare casing it, baby.
That's right.
That's right.
Geeking it through, man. Those rocks beside us, people were just tearing up the sprockets.
It was rough. It was rough.
All right, guys, and XC gear, guys. We just gave away a Mako 360. That's like a $350, $400. Just gave it away. You can go get them. Support Lance over there. They're awesome, dude. Cut down on arm pump vibrations.
Chase, are you running Sunstar? If you are, don't comment. But if you're not, get on Sunstar.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And so get it for your mountain bike, your ATV, or your dirt bike. And once you get all that on, guys, Mountain State Hare Scramble, one of the best local series to run in West Virginia. So if you guys are coming up from the south or coming from the north, meet us in the middle and run some Mountain State Hare Scramble. They build champions.
Richie Nolan and the crew are top notch. And listen, that is somebody that does have size medium in this shirt right here. If you need a medium and you're going to the Mountain State Hare Scramble,
better get him there.
Get him there. They have smalls, mediums, larges, and extra larges at Mountain State Hare Scramble as long as they haven't sold out in just a round, which I kind of doubt it. But if they did, then we need to order some more. Richie, let me know.
Right. That's awesome.
So, guys it's been a great show. Chase Allen said that he had chain problems and he's not running Sunstar.
Oh, boy.
Get your up with Doug Kirk.
9-hour races coming up, dude. You got to have the Sunstar.
Let's go. That's right.
Make a race.
That's right. Oh, we already ran out of that song.
That's good.
Hey, guys, it has been an absolute killer episode. Brandon, I can't thank everybody enough for joining us.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome, guys. And hey, be safe the 4th of July. Go out, have fun, wrap your fingers off or anything like that, or your hands. Or
don't do that. You need them.
You need them to race and ride and all that good stuff. But enjoy yourself. Let's go USA.
Let's go USA. 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 All right, guys. Music, and we
need professionals around here. Jeez.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Early in the morning when the sun does rise, laying in the bed eyes. Late in the evening when the sun sinks low, that's about the time my rooster crows. I got women up and down this creek and keep me going and my engine clean. Run me ragged, but I don't fret, 'cause there ain't been one slow me down, none yet. Get me drinking that moonshine, get me higher than the grocery bill. Take my troubles to the high wall, throw them in the river and get your fill. We